All right, they better go on with this BS music now. Go on somewhere with all that. Uh, well, I miss y'all. What's up, Ace? What's up, BK? What's up, Ashley? What's going on? What's the word? What's the word? Sister Brooke, we love it. We live on YouTube as well. Shout out to the people on YouTube. Shout out to Sister Brooke joining in the listener section on Twitter. Waiting on my dog Jay to come through in a minute. Ray Sean, how you feeling? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? About to have a good conversation today, man. I appreciate y'all being here. I'm live on Twitter and live on YouTube as well. Shout out to all my people on YouTube. Appreciate y'all being here. You know that. Got the chat in here flowing, man. We moving and grooving, man. You know that. What we gotta do. Brother Jed be here in a second, so have some patience, y'all. Have some patience. Have some patience. I'm gonna get this popping in a minute. It's not gonna that many people on Twitter, but it will be a lot of people on YouTube. So we're gonna be responding to the YouTube chat more than anything. But we got y'all. What's up, Maya? How you feeling? Freedom, how you doing? DMs, what's going on, fam? How you doing? Shout out to my guy Jay. We're gonna run this live, y'all. We're gonna have some good dialogue in here, man. I got Jay pulling up now. Ebony, how you doing? What's going on? 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 Hello, hello, hello. Take your time, Jay. Take your time. Ain't no rush, brother. We're just waiting on Jay to tap in, y'all. For all my people on YouTube. And thank you so much, bro, for your great broadcast. You're an awesome addition to the New Black Media. Um, if y'all consider me New Black Media, I just I'm flattered by that though. Shout out to everybody in the New Black Media. I guess I'm a part of it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, fam. That's what people be saying. I'm a part of the New Black Media now. How do you do super chats? The bottom right. You see the dollar sign. Bottom right. Appreciate it. We just waiting on my guy Jay, y'all. I mean, I can start it off. Give it a couple minutes. Shout out to the people on Twitter. It's not gonna be that many people on Twitter, so because a lot of people are gonna be listening on YouTube. Like I said, we got Sister Brooke in here. People will start joining in eventually, but you know, most of the people are gonna be joining. That's gonna be from Twitter, so I'm gonna be responding to y'all comments and you know, adding in to the conversation that we're gonna have today. And you are one of our great journalists in the New Black Media. Now I'm a journalist. They call me a journalist. All right, I appreciate it. Y'all don't know my guy Jay, man. Y'all, man, JB talking, man. JB talking. Some of y'all know Jay from a couple days ago, or last week when we did this the first episode. But man, Jay got a lot of wisdom and knowledge, man. I promise you. Y'all gonna rock with Jay just as much as y'all rock with me, if not more. And I hope y'all do, man. That's my guy. Jay, we waiting on you, fam. I can get started, but give Jay some grace, y'all. He got his he's trying to set his all this stuff up. Trying to invite him to co-host, so he'll be jumping in. So sorry about that. Sorry about the noise. What's up, Maya? What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something. Am I forgetting something? I think we got everything. If I'm not, hopefully I'm not missing. Oh, that's what I'm missing. I guess it's not necessary, but it ain't necessary right now. It's all good. Sister Brooke, yeah, Sister Brooke in here. Ebony said, send some hearts to Sister Brooke. One second, y'all. Let me call my guy Jay real quick. 1 second. Let me make sure he's straight. All right, y'all. I'm waiting on Jay. I called him. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing though. I just called him. Hopefully he pull up soon, y'all. I'm waiting on him to pull up.
Yo, yo, yo.
There we go. My dog. What's going on?
What's up, man? Look, so on the Mac, I'm trying to see if it'll work. But it's working on the phone though. So that's
For
my
sure.
backup in case. Yeah.
For sure. We
All right.
straight.
We not going we not gonna be live on here.
What, on Twitter? What you mean?
Yeah. We
Yeah.
not recording it.
No. You recording
Okay.
it on
All
your? You
right, back.
recording it though, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. As long as you recording it, we straight.
All
I
right,
mean, I got
cool.
mine too. So if we ever come down to it, but as long as you got it on your end, you got no storage on your shit, then we good. You should have enough. You should be straight.
All right, back.
Yeah. If your shit say, because when you hit recording, it'll literally say recording, or like it'll be a red, like it'll be in red or blue or whatever. Then you know you green, like it was before. But you right, you straight though. You good? You locked in?
Yeah, I mean just listen to me on this now until I see if I get it up here on this Mac setup so I can listen and because I got it running through the 2CH. So
Okay. All right. Shout out to everybody on Twitter, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to my guy Jay. Let me put his stuff on there. You wanna start it off? 1 second, y'all. Give us a little bit of grace, y'all. We trying to get professional with y'all. You know what I'm saying? We trying to be professional with y'all. So we trying to get some better equipment and set this shit up the right way and make this like a real podcast, just flowing through Twitter. Jay, you there?
yes, sir.
You want to start it off?
Uh, yeah, let's go ahead and start it off. We got people coming in on YouTube, bro.
Yes, sir. We got
All right. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Welcome
103
to the
people in here
space.
right now, or 103 views so far live. What the hell? Yeah, 100. They say well, it's a lot of people. It's enough people in here. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Welcome to the podcast, man. So the day we here talking about white hypocrisy with Druski, the Ghana reparations swap, Nick Cannon, and how he bashed the Democrats. You see some of the reports coming out with Drewski. Basically, he's going viral again for being very controversial as he always does. Drewski had the skit, and it was based around Erica Kitt. If you don't know who that is, that's the
Eric Kirk.
wife of, I mean Kirk, yeah,
Yeah.
not Kit Kirk. But yeah, the wife of Charlie Kirk, the guy who was assassinated, he was a very prominent political speaker for a lot of white ring, excuse me, um, podcasters. So everybody that like to, do a lot of the, racist stuff or had these kind of weird narratives about black people. Basically, he got kirked. at one of his rallies, and ever since then, his wife has been, basically just getting money, going on these crazy tours. She's been, doing everything but what a woman would do who's a grieving widow after her husband got assassinated. So yeah, Drewski put his skit out, and it kind of just had a lot of the, white Republicans and the right racists that are out there just upset with him because he gets exposing the truth.
Yeah, it seemed. I mean, to me, it seemed like they more mad at Druski than they as the person who shot Charlie Kirk, which is wild to me. I mean, I mean, you're not seeing this much outrage from old boy, and they making it they just talking about race, and it's funny because they can make jokes, and I think I said this in the video when I reacted to the. You can hear me, Jay?
Yeah, I can hear
Okay,
you.
let's make sure my shit was working. I said this in a video because I actually reacted to the whole situation, or not the whole situation, but the whole video on my channel. But I mean, I even said like comedy is only funny when it's somebody you agree with. It seemed like, and they keep talking about blackface, and like I said, like the thing is, a lot of them are not witty. They're not funny. See, when you doing blackface and you want to make a joke, because that's the response that you usually get. Or so when white people do blackface, well, the thing is, comedy is not. It can be offensive, but comedy is not supposed to just be pure, just racist. It's supposed to be funny. You know what I'm saying? And the difference is when if you're doing a blackface and you want to do a black character, they're not witty, and all they're gonna do is just do the hyper extreme and try to be as most racist as possible. That wasn't Drewski's intent. That's never been in his intent. His intent is to create laughs. His content is to make people laugh. And it's not funny when your whole entire stance on comedy of doing a black person character is just spamming the N word, eating chicken and watermelon real fast, and drinking grape soda. That's not funny. Nobody's gonna laugh at that. You just trying to be racist. You actually want to be more racist than you want to be funny. If Drewski just wanted to be racist, it probably wouldn't be funny. You know what I mean? And he's talking about a specific type of white woman, which is a white conservative woman. That's what he made it about. He didn't say how white women act. He didn't say how most white women act. He didn't say how conservative people act. He just said how white conservative women act. So specific, it's a specific group. And, he used, which basically I guess is the most prominent white conservative woman right now, which is the wife of, slain Charlie Kirk. So, I mean, it was funny whether you're on the right or the left or whatever your political affiliation is, it was funny. And me personally, I know people may have mixed opinions on this. I don't care if you do blackface. I mean, we seen blackface when it came to we understand what it is historically, right? When it came to like back in the day, minstrel shows and all of that. But as far as like just nowadays, I mean, the Tropic Thunder, people laughed at that. People can make their own personal opinion on that, but people laughed at it. People thought it was funny because it was funny. It wasn't look at my big old baboon lips and look at the fried chicken I'm eating. Look at me, I'm black and I'm a nigga. Like that's not funny. It's just to be disrespectful. So there's no comparison that you will have on the flip side. And somebody said in the chat, minstrel shows were literally not funny. That's what I'm saying. Not the same. Yeah, it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny then. And if they try to do the same thing now, it's still not gonna be funny because it's just to be as racist as possible rather than have a laugh. And even then, I said also in the video, and I'll let Jay take it and then we'll go to John. I even said in the video as well, it's like black men or black people in general, the way we speak to each other, it's not this super extreme, outright way that we communicate. We don't talk like this, nigga. And we got a sister Brooke, nigga. She in here listening and shit. Black people don't talk like that. Black men don't speak like that. But if you want to make a joke about it, it wouldn't be funny because it's not accurate. Drewski skits are funny because it's actually accurate on how people talk. Whether you black, whether you Mexican, he make jokes about everybody. Black people, the way that we speak, we have a smooth nature into our dialect. How I'm speaking right now, it's smooth, it's calm, it's cool, collected. It's very deliberate and to the point. It's not over exaggerated, nigga shit. Nobody talks like that. So it's not going to be funny because it's going to be it's going to be super sensationalized into the extreme. Even when they do black women, it's going to be to the most ratchet possible way that they can portray a black woman. And it's not going to be accurate. It's just not going to be funny. Jay, you want to take it? And then John, if you want to get your take on it, we'll go to Jay.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about this is that what this just shows you is that even as a black man, no matter how you no matter how you give things out to the world, whether it be your content, your art, whatever, there's people that are outside of you that believe as though that they can determine what's good and what's not, what's right is right. So talking about Erica Kirk, how is that anywhere that we can have these kind of lines where we draw on what comedy is and isn't? But if when it was all about George Floyd, I mean, it was nothing but meme after meme and joke after joke about a black man, being brutally murdered outside in public in broad daylight. So when this at basically is about, them, they look at that Charlie Kirk situation as a flashpoint of what it's like to be on a world stage and be embarrassed. That's an embarrassment because everybody's going to remember that's how he went out. So when his wife is doing everything opposite to what she should be doing, well, what normally people will be doing, because I can't tell nobody what to do as a widow. How can you get mad at Druski for being able to make that something that will be looked at as entertainment or comedy? Because when you go and you have all of these big things on stage, and when you having these, you're talking about Jesus and all of this other stuff, when you know that you've been widowed, somebody's going to make jokes about that. It's going to be memes. I mean, I seen one of these things where they said like the Gundam style dude. He was how he jumped out on stage. Erica Kirk, every time she jumps out on stage, is like the Gundam style dude, having a full live concert every time, and then oh yeah, Jesus this and Jesus that. It's a joke, but everybody wants to. Comedy is subjective. It's what it's got the fine lines of whatever people think it is. When he talked about the preachers, they were mad for like 2 weeks. I think that is going to be the same thing moving forward. So, but we got somebody that came to the stage. Welcome, John. Is there anything you want to say on the topic, man?
Was good. Ant was good. Jay, absolutely. One thing I'll say about Drewski's skit that's different from blackface is the fact that blackface was used as propaganda to basically justify lynching us. So a lot of people, a lot of the white supremacists, that's the reason why they can't do blackface, because blackface was used as a propaganda tool going all the way back to Birth of a Nation, where you first kind of start to see, those minstrel shows and everything like that. So, for us, we're just basically, when Druski, he did the skit, it's just basically just to, it's actually a lot, it's actually clever what he's doing. He's basically showcasing that white society can dish it, but they can't take it. And that's the issue, that's the beauty of his most of his skits. It's just he's basically just showing them a mirror.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. And then to the other side of that too, when they talk about, they make this comparison a lot. You'll see the George Floyd comparisons. Well, you guys care about George Floyd, and it was different because George Floyd was a criminal. They have a really for whatever reason, the alt right, these far right wingers, they really have because they're so chronically online, and they believe that liberal white women speak for black Americans. They generally believe that we have this deep cultural connection with George Floyd. We don't have a deep cultural connection with George Floyd. We have a deep cultural connection of what happened to him. He just so happened to be who he was. Black people are not revering George Floyd as a martyr. We don't think he's a saint. We don't think he's a community leader. For whatever reason, they believe that because white liberals have made murals of him and have made statues of him. And there are certain laws and policies that were, I think they have the George Floyd Act. Like, there are things that were being pushed under his name. Black Americans don't give a damn about George Floyd, him as a person, as a human. He was a regular dude walking around America. We don't like what happened to him because George Floyd, not for who he was personally, is a example of what can happen to anybody, whether you a criminal, whether you a millionaire. It don't matter. That's what the issue is. But for whatever reason, they believe that we revere him as some saint because, again, white liberals, because they want to think that they can speak for us all the time. They think we give a damn about it. Even with the memes and stuff with George Floyd, we don't care about that. We just don't like that a black man was done unjustly for millions and millions of people to see, and that's been continue to be a thing over time. But George Floyd is not somebody that we revere. We just don't like things happening to people unjustly. That's it. I'm gonna read a few of these comments. Shout out to John coming through. Make sure I subscribe to Jay's channel. which is pinned in the chat, y'all. That's my guy. Shout out to everybody being here. Let's read a few of these comments. White supremacists weaponized the entire society against us. Blackface, quote unquote, was used as a tool of propaganda. Facts. There is no whiteface. Yeah. Shout out to Brittany, Daystar. How you doing? Y'all talk about the contrast between Tiger Woods and Vince McMahon's car crashes. Vince McMahon got off and only paid $1,000 fine, while Tiger Woods was arrested and charged. I actually haven't really. I've heard about both, but I haven't done my research on either one. I know the Tiger Woods things just happened, and I heard about the Vince McMahon thing, but I haven't really looked into detail about either of those crashes, so I'm not sure. Probably Jay and John can speak on that better than I can, or anybody else that's in the listener section. Tiger Woods have a history of crashing cars. Yeah, if you want to speak on that, Jay.
Yeah, so I mean, Tiger Woods does have a history of crashing cars. It's a running joke that Tiger Woods can drive a 9 iron, but he can't drive a car. So yeah, I mean, but I want to say this though. I think when you at the height, he's at the height of success. He's got generational, wealth, things of that nature. But the thing about Tiger Woods, if you do know his upbringing, he was definitely a very sheltered kid growing up. That's how he learned how to be great when he became, like good at golf. He used to be one of the caddies, so he would pick up the ball whenever the other people would go out and they would go ahead and swing on the golf course. That doesn't exonerate him for anything that he does when he's driving, but when you get to the point where you're the best in the world and you kind of like don't have any rules and stuff like that, I think that's kind of really where he falls a little bit to doing reckless stuff, like recklessly driving, because his whole childhood, his whole teenage career, that's how he was basically making money and winning championships. So that's what my opinion on Tiger Woods. But it's a lot of other people that don't get the same media attention though. Like when you talk about white men who get caught up with DUIs, like Robert Downey Jr., like the other guy that was on the Two and a Half Men. I forgot his name. But yeah, like they're known for that, like in that kind of environment. So I would say we go ahead and give Tiger Woods a little bit of grace, and then just make sure that we get him the help he needs instead of like trying to everybody just pile on top of him, because I don't think that's really what will do him any justice or help anybody else. John, you had anything to say on that?
Tiger too damn old and too rich to be sitting there doing that. He need to sit his ass down and chill. That's all I gotta say. He just need to chill the fuck out.
For sure.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I don't think we should like that. I don't think that's gonna be. He should chill, but not like how people are trying to work. Like, oh, he's going crazy. He's doing this.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I think it's
absolutely.
just too
Yeah.
much people trying to make a publicity stunt out of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we should come on the scene and beat him up like that. But he just, you just got that one friend who just, they just from time to time do little goofy shit. Hey, bro, like just pull him, say, hey, you need to chill out, bro. You got too much going on. You don't need to be doing all of this.
Hey, shout out
Somebody
to
just, he.
oh, my bad, John.
That's all
I
you need
thought
to
you
do.
stopped. My bad, John. Go ahead.
No, you good. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought you had stopped. I didn't mean to cut you off. Shout out to Daniel in the listening section, man. My guy Daniel. I see Ladane down there. Got some people that's tuning in. Read more into the chat. Somebody said Vince McMahon was evading the cops. That's why he crashed. Only one race is targeted in America by the majority. Scriptures do not lie. With one mind they plot together. They form an allegiance against you. Psalms 83:5 NIV. They had the Trayvon Martin challenge. I ain't forget. Tiger Woods was on prescription. Hold on. Tiger Woods was on prescription pain pills. The look on his face was blank, especially with the pattern of his behavior. Tiger dad was a Joe Jackson, LOL. His daughter was born in the same hospital as my firstborn. He was a child prodigy. Charlie Sheen, Justin Timberlake too. Charlie Sheen. Just reading the chat. Justin Timberlake was hammered in that video. Just pay for a driver. He wiping his ass with his reputation. What's up, kid? How you doing? Yeah. That's pretty much what the chat is saying. Make sure y'all hitting the like button and keep supporting the live. What's going on?
Also too, I was gonna say another reason why a lot of the quote unquote dominant society they feel some type of way about the Drusi skit is because anytime you have like a quote unquote oppressed group of people that make fun of the quote unquote ruling class, the ruling class looks at that as
How dare you?
they look at it they look at it as a way of that they're losing their grip on power. Like anytime you have like a group that's like quote unquote oppressed or whatever, and they start making fun of the ruling class, they see it as a threat, just because like we're basically the population isn't taking them serious.
I understand that. I think definitely people that think like that. Most child stars for paid. I'm assuming you meant to say are paid for what they do. Wait, no. Most child stars, I'm assuming you meant to say are paid for what their parents did on the back end in their adulthood. Okay. Vince McMahon was high as hell when they pulled him over. He ran into another car. Okay. Just reading the chat on YouTube. But Erica Kirk really thought she could sue Druski. She found out it's not going to do shit. Okay, I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's actually factual. I think it's a lot of rumors going on. I've seen like fake comments saying that she commented on Druski's Instagram. She added him. I seen something that said she tagged Elon Musk on Twitter and said, please take this down. I saw something that said she tried to sue him. I don't know if that's actually true, McQueen. I think that's just people on the internet talking. I don't know if she's actually responded or said anything about it. And I actually would highly doubt that she would do that. So I don't know if that's actually like factual that she tried to sue him or that. I don't think so.
And that would be crazy if she tried to do that, because isn't what her husband used to talk about freedom of speech? It's
Yeah,
freedom of speech.
I
That's
mean,
what he always
she
would say.
wouldn't. Yeah, she wouldn't win that because it would be a case of satire. It's not made to be serious, so she wouldn't win. It'd be kind of the same thing with Drake. I seen
Exactly.
a whole AI video of Druski responding to her. Weird as hell. Yeah, I don't know if that was actually correct. It is. Parodies are protected. He didn't say her name. Hey, and I love your lives. What's up, Jess? Druski never said it was Erica Kirk. She's assuming it's her. Yeah, she would have no case. He got a cease and desist letter. Okay, but did that come from him, McQueen, or is that somebody that posted it? So did Druski post, or did Druski's team, or like did his actual, his team post that to say like, hey, Erica Kirk sent us a cease and desist letter, or did someone on some news page just post that? Because a lot of stuff get thrown around. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I don't know. What I'm saying is I would doubt it. Because I mean, I don't know. Unless that's coming from the source, I wouldn't read too much into that. Because a lot of people talk was on, and I don't give a damn about the lady, F the lady, but I seen a lot of people on the internet saying like, oh, she said that Druski is racist, and people was actually believing that, and like in the comments like saying that she said that. I'm like, I don't think she said that. I think that's just people tweeting. What they are afraid of. Oh, okay, you removed the message. All right. Druski brought out his white-looking grandfather. White looking? If you white looking, then you white. So is he white or is he white? I mean, unless the nigga albino. That's a build up. Druski gonna do a small hat skit and set the world on fire. That would be hilarious if he did that. I hope he do that. I hope he do the Druski skit. That'd be dope. I don't know if he gonna do it though, but that'd be funny if he did. But yeah, I'm just reading the chat. I saw that picture. It was definitely a white man. Yeah, he could be from Louisiana. That don't mean they not white. You can say, oh, they're Korea, man. That's a white man.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the space.
No, facts. Make sure y'all supporting the live too, man. Support Jay. Support me. Y'all can see our if you want to support the live, obviously super chat.
If you like what you're hearing though, tweet the space out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, tweet the space out. Make sure I support the live as well. You can see in the bottom right. You can support me. You can support Jay. And yeah, I subscribe to Jay. Shout out to you, Jay. What they're afraid of is FBA coming together as a people and taking care of home. Definitely. Shout out to my guy Daniel, man. My dog Daniel in here, man. A lot of y'all know Daniel. Daniel name be ringing bells around these people, man. He be having these people.
What's poppin', Ant, man? Your name ringing the bells, man.
You said what?
What's up, Jeremy? Mic check 1 2.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, your name ringing the bells, man. What's poppin'? How you holding up?
I'm chilling, man. Chilling.
Nah. Y'all talking about the Tiger Woods situation?
Well, somebody in the chat brought it up. But yeah, that was a part of what we speaking on. Yeah, we just chopping it up about everything.
Yo, Tiger Woods. Yeah, interesting fellow, man. I don't know. I think he'll be all right.
He just need to sit down somewhere.
I don't even think it's that. I think he just got to fall out of relevancy. I mean, like at this day and age, bro, you can get anything you want to DoorDash to you. DoorDash shit, y'all call to you. I don't even know what happened. Yeah, I just seen a nigga flipped over in the car. But shit, hopefully he all right though, man. The Druski shit was funny though. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah, shit. Nick Cannon just told the truth. The Democrats are the party of the KKK. It's a factual statement. Like, no lie was told there.
I mean, the original name of the Democrats was the Dixiecrats, so they just rebranded.
Right. I mean, they've always been anti-black. That's their whole thing. Like, they literally been anti-black since the beginning.
Yeah, I can't stand the Democrats. Like, to be honest with you, even if they would have actually, and I know this is gonna sound crazy, even if the Democrats would have actually come with a reparations plan, I wouldn't. To be honest with you, I wouldn't even want to vote them in. It's just I just don't trust them. That's just how much I don't trust them. I'd rather it be like an independence party or the Republicans or some shit to pass reparations versus them. I don't like them. I don't like nothing. They history, they policies. I just don't care for them.
That's what's up.
Especially that shit I see out there in California. That alone just, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like either side. I used to dream about being famous, but that was because of the 90s and early 2000s. Thank God I was blessed to stay unknown. The Democrats are pissed at us because we're not going for the bullshit. I know this ain't a part of the topic. What advice would you tell a person to say to their parents that want to take money out their check every check instead of letting them build up their money? It's not. I mean, hey, everybody's situation with their parents is different, but I mean, I don't think that. I mean, everybody's situation with their parents is different. It's not your obligation to, especially depending on what your situation is, to take care of them. It's a gesture that I think most people want to do because that's their parents, but I mean, you got to take care of yourself before you're trying to take care of somebody else. And you don't want to be in a situation where people shame you for saying no, because then you become, you become, they don't respect you. So I've been in a situation where I was, helping people out, sending money, and first couple times I done said no, I'm the bad guy. Like it's like I owe them something. I don't know. It wasn't even apparent. So, but yeah, and it's all good if it's off topic. I mean, we you know how our lives go, or at least my lives go. We kind of get around to everything. So we just gonna make the main thing. But it's nothing for side combos and just little add-ins here and there. Hey y'all, hope your Sunday is good. How you doing? Okay. Appreciate Daniel coming through, John coming through, people in the listener section. I appreciate y'all coming through, listening, and giving y'all perspective and all that, man.
Oh yeah, man. Ain't nothing. Shit. I'm glad to have me on the stage, man. Shout out to you, man. I, hope you don't mind, but I uploaded the YouTube video the other night of us shooting the shit in, in the thing.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't care.
I put Call-In Show featuring NCEO.
Yeah, no, I don't care. So, I don't know if anybody's that Torn Reloaded.
Yeah, that's him.
Okay, what up? Let me follow. I ain't even follow him on here. I don't even follow him on here. Let me follow him. I don't be on. I be on Twitter every 3 months and then get off.
Oh, and as far as Ghana goes, I don't think Ghana deserves reparations for slavery. If anything, they should be paying reparations.
That's
when
what I
it comes
said.
to that. Niggas is slave traders. Same thing with Nigeria, Togo, Benin, Angola, Congo. All of those groups, those quote unquote African nations over there need to be paying reparations. Now, as far as when it comes to colonization or whatever, I don't really know too much about that. I guess they can get reparations for that from those respective nations that colonized them. But when it comes to reparations for slavery, no, they were totally complicit in the selling of some of our ancestors. So nah, I don't think they deserve reparations for that, and they shouldn't be speaking on our shit anyway, because they're not foundational.
Isn't this the second time that something like this went like viral or popular? Didn't this happen like a few years ago? It was some thing with like a few nations in Africa was trying to get reparations or something like that. Thought I heard something like maybe like 2 or 3 years ago or something that happened like this. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, they trying to do it now as a block. So they're just trying to rewrite the history right now, which I think is laughable, but that's what they're trying to do. Like I don't know what the game plan is and why they think this will work, but they're trying to rewrite history. So it's like you can't be the perpetrator and the victim at the same time.
I think it's just they trying to muddy the waters. They probably got a phone call from the Democrats or some shit like that.
Well, I want to
Another
say
reason why
this.
I don't like the Democrats.
I want to know why Ghana would think that, but why would they think that they could get it before Black Americans?
Well, they're trying to get it for Black Americans. Have you read the plan? So the plan is they're trying to do this thing called repatriotism, where they repatriate Black Americans back to South Africa, so back to Ghana specifically. But what they're requesting in return from the government is money to do that. So, damn, I just lost the message. All right, I had it pulled up. All right, give me 1 second. You mind if I read it, Ant?
Oh, go ahead, bro.
So, what a lot of people don't know about this is Ghana just signed a deal with the EU in like March 24th. So it says on March 24th, Ghana and the European Union signed a landmark, first of its kind, security, defense, and partnership deal, making Ghana the first African nation to form such a formal security alliance with the EU. This pact aims to counter terrorism, improve border security, and boost maritime safety in the Gulf of Guinea, and extremist violence increases in the West. So it says key details of the EU deal. Purpose: the partnership supports Ghana efforts against a growing threat of jihadist violence in the Sahel region and reinforces its maritime security and intelligence gathering. There's what it includes. It includes the agreement covers combating maritime threats, fighting extremism, managing crisis, and increasing cybersecurity. All right, so that's the bullshit, right? This is where you really get to it. It says excluded activities. The agreement does not involve the deployment of European combat troops or the establishment of permanent foreign military bases on Ghanaian soil, ensuring that Ghana armed forces remain in control. Now, that's the joke right there. So the military aids, as a part of the agreement, the EU has handed over equipment, drones, anti-drone systems, and vehicles funded by the EU $50 million package from the European Peace Facility. So what that means is, right, the EU is giving them $50 million. that they desperately need. Because when America cut the USA program, Ghana lost like $240 million. So EU is giving them 50 million, but in exchange for that 50 million, they agreed to become the peace force or security force in Africa. And the reason why they're doing it is because that region is now stabilizing. So if you guys don't know, Burkina Faso is in that same region. They border Ghana. Burkina Faso just recently got taken over by Ibrahim Traore, the military coup. That being said, it's stabilized. And instead of them moving toward the EU, they moved away from the EU because French was in control of Burkina Faso. So they moved toward Russia. So that's a security threat for them. And the land in the area is rich with gold. That's why people love Burkina Faso so much. That being said, the EU cannot have them spreading their influence unchecked. So this is a move by them to put their own sphere of influence in the area, if you will. They're using. See, the key words they're using is these terrorist threats. It says background. This deal follows increased terrorist threats near Ghana northern borders, specifically aims to stop the spread of militants from the Sahel region. And it says strategic partnership is seen as strengthening Ghana as democratic anchor in West Africa, ensuring stability, trade with growth in the region. So that's what they're talking about. But if you read the people from Ghana, what they're saying about it, I like to read the pro and anti side of it. The pro side of it is saying that it's good because they'll get visas, so their passports are being upgraded, so they kind of look like the ones in the EU. And then they're looking at the waiver on visas, so that means most of their kids can probably go to school in the EU. But this is in my opinion, it's a play to undercut Burkina Faso's strength in the region because Burkina Faso struck a deal with Niger and Mali for security purposes. But if Ghana's being backed by the EU, that's just another word from France. So France has found its way to come back to the region via the EU. So I don't know. I think this, but it goes to what Ghana's doing right now. They're broke, so they have to do this type of deal.
Damn, what happened? I think I accidentally. That was an accident. My bad. It might have been me or Jay. I don't know. It's a double mute too.
Oh no, it's all good.
Yeah, my bad.
That's all good. Yeah, no, but I was saying to say it. So basically, Ghana is attempting to increase its investor pool. So when they went to the EU and they did the reef land ceremony,
it might have been an accident.
Yeah, it's a delay too.
Okay, it's all good. It's all good. That's all good. Can you hear me? Mic check. I good.
We can hear you now. My bad, Daniel. Our bad.
Oh yeah, you good. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Like I know how this shit. You might come on. Run spaces for a minute. But no, the whole thing with the Ghana coming over here to Lake Reefs was to gain publicity. They already knew what the EU resolution was going to be.
Am I delayed too, bro?
Yeah, I think you delayed, bro. Cause Daniel, yeah, you delayed. Drop out and come back. I'll send you an invite back.
You want me to drop and come back?
No, not you, Daniel. I think Jay delayed.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, so if you paid attention to what the United States official position on it was like, no, because we're not going to pay you for something that was legal at the time that, oh, by the way, you benefited from and participated in. So that was their whole thing. They didn't want to, like, that's why they voted no. And now that they voted no, which they knew was going to happen, this is part of their marketing campaign. So now Ghana is hosting a Juneteenth festival in Ghana, and they're inviting people to come see Ghana and invest in it. And their selling point is the Guyanese president fought for Black Americans to get reparations, even though the effort was pointless, but you can still make your investment in Ghana. That's the same thing. Like, this is the Wakanda theory they all keep trying to sell. So it's a bunch of bullshit. It was a ploy to gain more support for Ghana because, truth to be told, they're broke. The year of the return was about them going broke. Like, they went broke. I was just listening to, I was reading something about, what's the boy name? He was in Friday with Pinky, Michael Blackston. He was talking about how he invested so much money in Ghana into the school, and they took the money from him. Like, they did. Like, the money never reached the school because the Ghanaian government got it, and he had to use bonds from Europe to cover the loss or some shit he was saying. But yeah, that being said, it's well known throughout the world that Ghana is probably a terrible place to invest your money because you get a bad ROI and sometimes you get nothing at all. My bad. No, I was a little long-winded.
What the? Okay, there we go. No, man. Jay, I sent you an invite back up, but no, I mean that's needed because a lot of people don't know. You know what I'm saying? And shit, I sometimes I don't be knowing. I can't get to every damn thing. I be trying to do 15,000 things and 15,000 topics at once, so it'd be hard for me when I be trying to do my research. I don't get to everything. You told me some shit that I don't know. Yeah, I appreciate the breakdown. I'm gonna read the chat, and then I'll let Jay get on it, and then we got my guy Torrent just came through. See a couple people in the chat is saying. And man, real shit, man. Shout out to Daniel, dude. Like people, like other people
We'll
when they
see.
come up.
Can you? I think
You still delayed, Jay? Can you hear me? My nigga Jay is in.
Yeah, I can hear you.
That nigga Jay in Ghana right now. But shout out to my guy Daniel for coming through, touring. Like,
nah, I shouldn't be. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I might be. Shit.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I think Jay having some technical difficulties, but it's all good. But now I want to say, man, shout out to people like Daniel Torn coming through because he's.
I can hear you, bro.
Bro, you're Jay, you delayed, bro. You delayed like a mother. You like 10 seconds delayed, bro. Shout out to Daniel, people like Torn coming through because they got platforms, and we need people like that, giving their perspectives, man. Shout out to them, man, for real, for even coming to the live and taking their time out, man. We need people like that in these conversations, man. Make sure I support them as well. Let me read the chat, and we're gonna let hopefully if Jay not in Ghana no more, we can let him go, and then we're gonna give it to Torrance if you want to speak. I'm confused. Did something happen? Okay, that was before Daniel had broke it down. White is on the rise. You heard? Oh, Black YouTube, not white T is white YouTube. I'm so used to TikTok language. Black YouTube is on the rise. You heard? Unsubscribe from all tethered channels. They ain't for FBA. They all want a Mr. Beast subscription model to stay paid, promote unity, and never solve problems. Hey, talk about it, Ghost. Do y'all think it was ever a coincidence they wanted us to go over there? They were giving citizenship and land 5,000 acres and ain't shit for millions of FBAs. But I thought it was only if they had a certain amount of money. From what I heard, like to the whole brain.
You can go over there, but you got to invest. You got to put your money in the bank account.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff they require. You can't just waltz in there and say, "Hey, I'm home." Like, that ain't the type of time they was on.
And if it was real support, if it was real, go ahead, John.
Them niggas over there trying to steal your money, bro. Like I wouldn't even fool up with them people, bro.
If it was real love and real support and real come back home and brothers, then we wouldn't have. We would just be able to just go there and get citizenship. We should have access to everything else that the people there have access to. But it's not. It's about a come up to try to get our American dollar to them to help their country get better. And at the end of the day, we would completely we would completely evolve the economy if you send 1 million Black Americans over there. The smartest people are going to be Black Americans. The most athletic people are going to be Black Americans. The best everything are now Black Americans. So they're going to take over. The best actors. Like we would completely just skyrocket everything that goes on over there. So it's a plus for them and it's a negative for us because that's less money to whoever over there. So it's BS at the end of the day. If it was real love, we should all be able to go there as a collective.
The funny thing is about them, if they was to get the reparations or whatever like that, bro, they ain't gonna do nothing but treat that shit how they do the foreign aid. They get all that, those billions of dollars and shit, and the billions of dollars don't even trickle down to the fucking citizens and shit. Mm-hmm. And it's just gonna be them fucking African leaders over there just fucking squandering that shit on fucking supercars and shit like that. That's literally what the fuck they gonna do.
Walk around that bitch with purple dresses and shit, hot as fuck outside, looking dumb as hell. Niger stopped the West from coming in and taking the resources. France is on a major collapse. America and if anybody want to chime in while I'm reading this chat, y'all more than welcome to. Daniel.
No, I was saying that's true. France is going broke right now. They haven't found a way to pay their soldiers. Well, I mean, they have a lot of shit going on. They can't even paint the Eiffel Tower right now. A whole lot of shit going on.
America not giving Africa nothing. Get over it. How did Africa benefit from slavery? Burner Man J9I said that. Anybody want to speak on that? How did Africa benefit from slavery? and we sure made sure they didn't even get good publicity. Now this is getting out of hand. Juneteenth in Ghana, Juneteenth in America, thing they making a fool out of themselves. There are no starving children in Europe, but 20 years later, people in Africa, including kids, are subject to mud cakes and things unimaginable for consumption. They are always scamming. Go ahead. Y'all can jump in at any time when I'm reading this chat. Y'all can cut me off. I'm just reading the chat.
Oh, I'm just laughing because I'm just go ahead with you.
He said the dude said like how he absolutely right. Africa didn't benefit
Hey, yo,
because
what?
niggas was sitting there selling people for bottle caps. Niggas is doing nasty business deals over there, bro.
Thank you, Daniel. That was informative. From Crystal Light. Dan is always speaking facts and giving us knowledge. From Bun. They owe us reparations. You saw their ancestors make it make sense. Great panel. Africa, new name, Scamland. That is not my home. We would have no protection under their laws. That's a good point. That's a great point. We would have no protection under their laws. So many FBAs went over there and regret it. It's like a new money grab. They got scammed out of thousands of dollars. They sent money to build houses and going over there to nothing.
It's funny he say that, just real quick. And it says, just reading about this year retiring. So in 2019, Initiative brought in an estimated, some of Ghana's revenue. It brought in an estimated 1.9 billion to 3.3 billion in tourism revenue. Sustained growth tourism, Ghana. Tourism has continued to rise, reaching a record 4.82 billion in 2024. Yeah, it's a job creation. The surge of arrivals led to a boom in hospitality service sectors, increasing license accommodations from 3,500 in 2018 to 4,100 in 2019. So they're booming off of this nonsense of selling this Wakanda land. So now y'all remember in 2000 and was that 17? I think it was that movie Black Panther dropped.
Yeah,
that was good publicity for all those African nations because people started preaching like Umar Johnson. You can build Wakanda in real life with your investments in Ghana. That was the selling point that they were dropping. They dropped in 2018. Yeah. So in 2018, Black Panther dropped. Year return to Ghana was 2019. It was a money grab. They didn't do anything to actually benefit anybody else. And it says the Ghana government is currently working on the Homeland Return Act to address some of these financial and legal hurdles of the diaspora. So they're trying to get other countries, specifically America, to pay for people to go back home. And then also they want the government here to pay the Guyanese people to teach foundational Black Americans how to be better Africans when they go quote unquote home. So again, it's a scam. It's the same Pan-African scam, bro. Like, but that's another thing. I won't go too long. But yeah, just whoever read that in the comment section is 100% right. That's exactly what it was. It was a money grab.
Real quick, man. Shout out to Daniel for giving that take. We're going to give it to Torin next. Shout out to my guy Torin. Unless Jay want to chime in. We got 141 people on YouTube. I appreciate everybody being here on YouTube. And if anybody want to come in and chime in, y'all have to come to Twitter. But if you got Twitter, just type my name in. And y'all be able to come right up and, we could chop it up. But, yeah, we got 140 people on YouTube, so that's what's up. Jay, you want to jump in, give your perspective, and then we're going to give it to Torin.
Okay. Am I?
There we go. I think you good.
I don't sound
Can you hear
delayed
me?
this time. Yeah, I can hear you.
There we go. You out of Ghana now. We back in the
All right, we good now?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
All right. Well, I mean, yeah, Daniel, he really kind of broke down a lot. But this is why like that whole Middle East conflict is gonna span regionally. So like when he was talking about they wanted to do that Black Wakanda stuff. Basically, it's the same thing. Like they have some of those African nations. I saw today that Uganda was saying that they're gonna, or they would be giving aid to Israel in case like somebody said that they would need them. So everybody in the Middle East and Africa, all of those regions are probably playing a power game for like resources and stuff. And that's kind of where that whole everybody need to go back and you can get citizenship. But like y'all said, you needed a lot of money. You need to make a lot of investment before they would even give you anything. Were you saying something, man?
No.
You said what?
No, I wasn't saying nothing. Let me mute my thing.
Oh no, I saw your the mic moving, so I thought you was talking.
No, my bad. That's all you wanted to add, Jay?
Yeah. For now, it's still cooking. I'm just trying to make sure everything good. I'm not delayed no more.
Yeah, you straight. My dog, Torrin, man, what's going on? My guy, what's on your mind?
What's going on? Yeah, as far as like you can be talk about just about anything, well that's up here, or is like are y'all on one central topic?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to speak on that, or if you want to, I mean, when we had, I mean, yeah, we had it set up like we was gonna go proportionate, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's the title, so whatever, whatever you want to speak on,
Okay.
you want to welcome to get on it.
Okay, well, as far as the Druski situation goes, like as far as that skit goes, I think he did his big one with that one. I thought the one with the hillbilly was gonna be huge, but nah, I think he did it with this one. I mean, he has them crashing out all over the place, and I for one happen to love every second of their crash out right about now. It, like you said, it exposes their hypocrisy. These are the same people that tell black people all the time to stop dibbling, dabbling in victimhood and stop being snowflakes and stop being this, stop being that. Meanwhile, he literally exposed them with 1 2.5 minute skit. And now they all crashing out all over the place. They coming at him, they coming at each other. I love it. Like this is perfect. It makes you wonder what he got cooking next. I'm real curious. I saw some people in the chat had left a main suggestion. Now, if he goes that route, he might actually crash the internet. I'm gonna be completely honest. If he goes that particular route that people are suggesting, that might be the end right there. One thing I will say when it comes to as far as like both political parties, I've always said, and you probably seen it in my videos, these are both wings attached to the same buzzer. What? Huh?
I was just, my bad. I was saying yep, like I was let me shut the fuck up.
Okay. I always said that these are two wings attached to the same bird. A lot of people don't realize that at one point in time, black people were heavily leaned in with the Republican Party. But of course, this was like, this is probably back in our great-grandparents, probably great-great-grandparents' time. Like that's how far long ago it was. But somewhere around, I want to say, the early 1930s, right around the time of that Great Depression, or somewhere around that point, that's when the pivot, or that's when the shift started to happen, because a lot of black people were realizing that they were dealing with benign neglect from the Republican Party. And then in came Roosevelt, and then he promised black people so much. And then he was like, you know what? We're going to take our gamble and go on this side. And then that's how they got black people. So really what it is like, I'll put it like this. The Democrats of yesterday are the Republicans of today and vice versa. That's why I say they both play the same game. And I'll give you a perfect example, because I actually went over this with my live when I did my live stream yesterday. So you know how under the Biden administration, there was a whole bunch of illegals that came into the establishment. They all just like, they just pretty much opened the door, and they just flooded, like they just came right on in. And a lot of them came in from that southern border. And who is the governor of the state of Texas? Greg Abbott. Instead of Greg Abbott pointing them back across that border to spite the sanctuary cities, which are majority blue states where a lot of black people live, he sent them all to a lot of places where a lot of us dwell at, and they just welcomed them in and just let them stay there. So that's how they both play that game with each other. Whatchamacallit, Ron DeSantis down there in Florida did the same exact thing. He said, oh, well, Abbott did it. Well, shoot, I'm going to do the same thing. And that's exactly how they got where they are. So they both played that game, and we are caught right in the middle of it. That's why I said I have been a registered independent for about 3.5 going on 4 years now. I'm moving myself out of the equation and letting them fight each other while I just sit back and watch everything just unfold.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
go ahead, jump in.
Oh my bad.
No, go ahead, jump in.
Yeah,
hey, fuck the hands, y'all. Just
let's not forget.
Fuck them hands. We just chop.
All right, cool. Let's not forget, man. So, just on the Abbott thing, the governor, remember, he sent in the National Guard first to stop the people from coming across. Then he put those balls with the razors in them to keep the immigrants from coming across. It was Joe Biden who sent the executive order and told him he couldn't do it. And they tried to explain to him that they don't have the infrastructure needed to take in all these people. And they said they didn't care. Remember, a federal judge blocked his ability to place those barbed wire traps, referred to them as a crime against humanity. And so in response to that, that's when he started the busing program. Yeah. So just want to be clear on that. It wasn't like he was like, yeah, let me just bust these people. And he started sending them to Martha's Vineyard and places like that. And then that's when Eric Adams up in New York City had a change of heart about the migrant crisis. Because they were having a discussion back and forth. And it was like, oh, it's easy to be a sanctuary city when you're not next to the border and you got, 70,000 Guatemalans crossing the border every day. So I just did want to add that in the context there. But for the most part, that was right.
I do know who Greg Abbott did move, though, and got up out the fucking paint. Them damn Haitians. They was here today and gone tomorrow.
Good point. You wanted to jump back in, Daniel? You got your hand raised. Like I said, we ain't got to raise hands, y'all. We just gonna jump right in.
Oh no, I ain't want to cut nobody off, but I was adding that point about the Abbott situation. It's like Joe Biden created this mess, and as a matter of fact, most of the the terrorist attacks that happened were done by people who received visas under the Biden administration. So it's like when you start to look at it, you see what happened. So the reason why they did this is, if you guys remember the 80s up in Cuba, the Democrats, they absolutely hate the Cubans due to the whole Bay of Pigs situation with Fidel Castro and John F. Kennedy. It was an embarrassment on the country. So what they did from there was, it was like, you know what? We're going to make these citizens legal. If they touch the American soil, if they want to flee communism and come to our country, we'll make it legal. And those citizens they did that for, the Cubans, vote Republican to this day. And Castro was like, you know what? Fuck it. Take them all. So he emptied the insane asylums. He emptied everything. He's all right, take your ass to America. And to this day, Deontay Wilder voice, the Cubans vote conservative. Now, the Democrats are looking to do the same exact thing with these illegal immigrants. Mark my words. That's the reason why, if you pay attention to the mayor in what's his name in Chicago, he campaigned on not raising property taxes, residential property taxes. But then when immigrants came to town, he needed an extra $2 billion. And the first people he looked at was the tax holders. So now you got a situation to where he's willing to wreck his political career to appease the immigrants. Jasmine Crockett did the same thing, by the way, to appease immigrants, right? And the funny part about this is, when you look at the DNC and the RNC, whether they, melanated, black or not, they are pro whatever that party is. So they're not pro-black, they're pro-Democrat. See? So they're going to do whatever the Democratic Party wants them to do. And they're not going to ever fall out of favor with the Democratic Party. Just like the Republicans. Like, they will tank their whole political career to stay in favor with the RNC. Because even if it's not political, they know they can get some type of office inside of the DNC and the RNC, and it'll pay them money for the rest of their lives. So they don't really care about how their policies look when they're in office if it benefits the party. So that's why they're being so nice and so cushy to these immigrants, because they actually using them to replace everybody else. They want to replace their voting bloc. They become too extreme. That's why they keep preaching coalitions. That's why when you hear them always say black and brown coalition and black and brown this and black and brown that, like, they have to keep saying that because they know on the surface, we don't necessarily support anything that they do. So this is their way of trying to keep that unity intact, but it's false. It won't last long. But yeah, my bad. No, a little long-winded.
I'll go as
That's
far as
all
to
love.
say that was only in theory. Even on paper, that so-called coalition didn't even exist. That was just something that they put out there because it sounded nice. It didn't even look
Facts.
nice. I never even really like saw it really as like that far. I said, okay, fine, you can have friends, on either side of whatever it is, but to try to force it, you know what it is? They tried to force it. You can never create something like that artificially. It has to be organic. It has to happen naturally, and they keep trying to force this thing that doesn't exist, and it doesn't work. Like for anybody involved, it doesn't work for us. It doesn't work for them. It works for the people that can benefit off of it, and it ain't us.
It damn sure worked for them though. I'm not gonna lie, they benefited greatly. So this is what they do. If you pay attention to, damn, I lost it again. This is what they do, right? So they'll start off any conversation. They'll start off right. They'll say, Jim Crow was a horrible thing, slavery was a horrible thing, and then they get the amens from the crowd, and they'll be like, well, that's why we have to fight so hard to protect, our non-documented brothers and sisters. And they akin it to the Underground Railroad, forgetting that the only reason why we were doing that type of stuff is because we were fighting for freedom. These people are illegally entering the country. Like, their first act is breaking the law. If you look at their coalitions, none of the people in their coalitions even remotely have anything to do with each other. It's just they cover all their bases when they speak. So on one side of the spectrum, they'll talk about police brutality. And then down the line, they'll talk about environmental protections. Those are two different groups. But since there's one party speaking to the common issue everybody has, and they'll blame it on the system. So that they'll tell you the system is responsible for white supremacy. They'll tell you the system is responsible for pollution and oil and stuff, right? If you just take a look at it, if you take it away from the police brutality shit, the things that niggas are concerned about, and you focus on just what the hippies are concerned about, right? When they talk about environmental protection, they ran a smear campaign on Trump about fracking. That's drilling oil, and Trump's like, "Yo, it's drill, baby, drill. We're gonna drill this oil. We're gonna reduce these gas prices, right? We're not fucked up by clean air. If it happens, it happens. But we're American. We're gonna get our oil." That coalition, that part of the coalition, loved the Democratic message when they were talking about drill, baby, drill. That coalition does not give a damn about paying higher gas prices. However, most people, the Hispanics, the blacks, the non-evangelicals, they care about paying gas prices. But since the message is tailored to fit everybody, individual needs during their segment of the speech, it seems like everybody's on one page. And then when they got to the voting block and they realized that a lot of the Hispanics they tried to force into this coalition are Catholic, and they don't agree with the whole, alphabet mob and the kids. We on YouTube, so I'm not gonna say too much. And that's when they started to look at it, because they tried to group all the Latin people together as Latinx. Remember that? You haven't heard that in a minute, because apparently it tested so poorly after the 2024 election. They decided to 86 the program. So they do these coalitions that aren't necessarily real. They just seems really convenient at the time. So, but I do agree. I do think, I never thought it was a real thing. It was just a huge psyop, if you will, to make people think all these people are on code and on the same page. And truth to be told, they don't even like each other. We have very, very different agendas. And I think this presidency is showing us why that is. I mean, you take a look at Trump, say what you want about him, but he's not really doing much to harm foundational Black Americans. Most of his harm is coming at the hands of these illegals and other things. And while people on TV crying about it, this man just created a job gap of 200,000 jobs. Go get your CDL. Go get your constructions. Like he's opening the job market by removing the people who are not supposed to be here. Like, I think that's something we should take advantage of. But people run their politics through their feelings, like the brother was saying earlier. Instead of just being independent, they chosen a side in this war, and this is not your war. You choose the side that's going to win.
I got a question though. What happened? Speaking of the illegals, I want to talk about a particular group that no one ever talks about. Whatever happened to those so-called white South African refugees? Because I know a lot of
them scamming.
Because I know they came. Because I know they came over. Then they said that they was bringing them over here last summer. And I know a lot of.
No, they made it over here. You didn't hear what happened?
They did make it over, but notice the verbiage. They called them refugees. They didn't call them immigrants. Or
see, that's a different status, though. That's a different status. You see, just like the Ukraine refugees. So the refugee status is different. So when they came over as refugees, that means they could get jobs, working places. And Elon Musk gave them a lot of jobs at Tesla, paying a little, let's just say, a generous salary.
And a lot of them left because they said, "Oh nah, this is not what we thought it was going to be." They said, "We're gonna try to fare better back in South Africa." But the thing is, you already were.
That's what I was just about to say. A lot of them actually left.
Yeah, a lot of them left because it's like, oh, we had it way better back in South Africa. Like they said, the so-called American dream was basically a pipe dream
for them. You got to think most of those people that came over were part of apartheid South Africa. So whereas you could call a black person all type of N-words and things of that nature, and there wasn't much they could do about it. However, the American Negro is a little different. Can't really get away with that. All of that, going to a Caucasian only restaurant, that ain't happening here. And then also,
and also, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, go ahead, you good.
And also, too, I want people to pay attention to how, and for those of y'all who are not familiar with my verbiage, I usually always say PC. It doesn't mean politically correct. Like, just if you figure it out, if people who follow me know exactly what I'm talking about. But when a certain demographic says that they're America first, pay attention to what they were saying when it came to the white South African so-called refugees that was getting ready to be over here. They were saying, wow, now those are the people that we can ingratiate into our culture. Like, I kept seeing that over and over and over again. I said, oh, I guess that America first thing, you just tossed that right out the window. Look at what happened with that Shiloh Hendricks chick last year that was calling that boy the N-word at that playground. That woman ain't from here. I forgot where she was from, but they was all loving her and donated so much money. That woman damn near became a millionaire overnight. Same thing with that. Same thing with the that Ukrainian woman on that bus down in North Carolina. She wasn't from here. She was fleeing Ukraine, and then she got took out. But the way that they treated her, you would thought she was the all-American white woman. Yep. But look at the optics of it. It was a black man that did it, so they played heavily on that.
I want to read some of the chat just so they can we can get some other perspectives. I want to read because they responded to what y'all saying. So I want y'all to hear what's being said. I'm gonna scroll up a little bit. Let's see.
I was about to say something, but go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead. I'll read that. Go ahead. I used to have some technical difficulties. Go ahead. Jay, go ahead. You got it, bro.
Well, I was gonna say, so basically, a lot of what they. Oh, am I delayed again?
No, you good.
I think so.
Nah, nigga, you good?
Yeah, I think you is delayed. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I think you delayed, Jay. You've been delayed for like I don't know.
The emojis is killing me.
15 minutes now. All right. I'm just reading the chat.
All right, how about now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead. You're not delayed. You good.
All right. So yeah, because y'all bounced a lot of topics around. So basically, a lot of what y'all talking about is the base. I wanted to kind of open up the conversation because a lot of people like the money that y'all talking about that lady got for like calling out racism and stuff. A lot of that was coming from like that MAGA Trump base, like, and now with the war situation and everything, the oil situation and everything, that base is kind of like filtering out everybody's basically like a civil war. Like there's certain groups of people that want to of that Trump base, they want to go ahead and like and keep everything the way that it is, like the status quo. It's the ones like Torian was talking about who would like we need to get rid of the illegals and then there's the anti-war people, and everything is all like converging and clashing on one. So that's why every new week is something else being said. First he was saying no new wars. Now it's a war in the Middle East. Then, well, before the war in the Middle East, it was about Venezuela and getting that oil. And then now it's about this one and making sure that they don't have weapons to go hurt Israel. Now it's also, well, we just need to go ahead and let it happen and have short term pain for long term gain. Like, so, I mean, I think for everybody in the space, well, at least the speakers, for Torian, I think your sole issue is you want the mass illegal deportation thing. Is that correct?
If you're gonna do it for one, do it for all. Don't be so selective with it. And you know what I mean when I say being selective. Because remember, if y'all remember last year, he said we got to get rid of the third world illegals. You got to pay attention to the verbiage. So when I said, okay, so you want to get rid of the third world ones, okay, fine. What about the second world ones then? Because I looked up what the second world ones are, and I said demographic wise, I see exactly the play here. And then you bring in the white South Africans, you bring in these Ukrainians, you bring in a certain group. I see what you're doing. It's not like your low birth rates is a big secret.
Yeah, you say you about to read the chat?
Yeah, I was gonna read the chat. Jay, I don't know if you wanted to respond to.
Oh, go ahead, read it.
Yeah, just so we can get back in, because they responding to what everybody's saying. Yeah, it's a little bit too far up. I spent all my Bitcoin money on World Cup tickets. Bought a 6-game tickets. One cost me $21,000. Spent a total of $48,000. Brought them to resale, but nobody bought them. I'm left with lame tickets. Crying my eyes out.
That's crazy.
I'm not really sure that was where that's coming from, but maybe it was something that was mentioned earlier. That's tough though. That's just fucked up. And my G, what's up, Sil? It's called propaganda. They saying FBA's looking to replace us with them so they can have a weak society to take advantage of, but they realize that we're not even bothered. That's why delineation is so important for people. That's true. They're trying to go back. They found out, us folks, do you ever think you do boxing for at least 2 years? I don't know what you're saying, Daystar. What do you mean? They realize that FBAs don't play games with them. Black Americans are struggling to get a job in California. Don't get it twisted. A lot of Black Americans are focused on entrepreneurship. Shiloh is using that money for court fees. America First has a dog whistle. They just had another No Kings protest in North Carolina yesterday. That's it. It was more, but it was just too far up. So for right now, we all caught up on the chat.
So, well, can you hear me, bro?
Yeah. You still delayed? That nigga still delayed, man.
I shouldn't be now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
It's smooth. It sound clear, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So the protest though, I mean, that's a good segue too. Do y'all think? Because I think they psyops, because like for the cities that are having them, like they don't seem necessarily like real. Like they really on, or at least they're watered down protests, because they want to, I guess, discredit the protesters or like the people that talk about no kings. But I don't think that what Trump is doing is making him act like a king. Because for example, like they had the protests and they said North Carolina or where, and
Yeah, North Carolina, yep.
yeah, I know there was one in I think there was one in, let's say, Washington or Seattle. There was one
They
in,
were nationwide.
Yeah, nationwide. Yeah, but basically, what I'm saying is like there was one where the people that they opened the gates up to whatever ICE concentration camp. Well, that's what they're calling it. But they didn't go inside and then free the people. They just opened it up and then walked away. It's like the same thing like when they was twerking for that Supreme Court ruling for like abortion and stuff. Like I think they just all like propaganda. It's not really anything coming from it. And honestly, the way that Donald Trump is acting, he's not acting like a king. He's more so acting like he's acting like everything that an imperialist government ruler should act like. If you want to save your empire, you have to go and expand territory. So that means hostile takeovers. That means Venezuela, Greenland. That means Iran, or at least Iran and Israel in proxy to Iran. That means that all of those places have to be utilized for the betterment of the empire. You being mad about it is them being mad about it. Like I think when things change and then the oil prices go up and stuff goes up and then the price of goods actually cost what they supposed to cost, then you're gonna have people like begging, like, oh, uh it was so much different back then. It was so much different when we had means of production, and then you're going to see America doing what the American first stuff should already be, having our own industry, having our own oil, making our own products, stuff like that. And then we would stop using these proxies for the empire, and then it's not gonna go back to normal, but it's definitely gonna be a change. I say that. But is there any more chats, bro?
uh, yeah. Would you ever try to learn boxing for 2 years and compete like for the plot? I don't know why you want me to. Why do keep asking me about boxing? Would I compete and be a fighter? No, bro. Would I fight niggas on a for money though? Like somebody was like, hey, he go 20 bands, be in the ring, 3-minute rounds, 3 rounds, 3 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna be the nigga to fuck up. But that don't really got nothing to do with the conversation. But I'm just responding to your comment. And then Jasmine said, "What's up, family?" So hey to Jasmine, and that's all we got. Most people are just listening.
Yeah, can I speak on what Jay was getting at about the No Kings protest?
Yeah, of course.
So what you find with these people is they're so used to foundational Black Americans leading the way on everybody issue. So now that we're not doing that anymore, they're trying to find a way to manufacture something that works. So look, the immigrants did it. The Somali immigrants did it with the Selma bullshit. Like, yo, nigga, that's not y'all story, it's ours. Right. And they marched to Selma singing "We Shall Overcome" about issues in Minneapolis. It makes no sense. But they're trying to tap into that juice that we have, and they can't do it because it's not them. Even take a look at Bill. Was it Bill? Damn it, what's this guy's name? Bill Mather. He has a show on HBO, and he was like, "Yo, Bill Maher. That's the guy's name. There we go. I keep forgetting the guy's name. One of those Jews. Anyway, he has a show on HBO, and he was talking about how he noticed at the No Kings rally there were no Black people. Like, where are the Black people at? Well, maybe they scared of ICE agents. We're permanent citizens. Why would we be scared of ICE agents? It's just we not fucking with them. Like right now, niggas is trail riding. We having fun. We mind our business. We going shopping. Niggas is line dancing. We kicking it, right? This ain't our fight. We understand it's not our fight. As a matter of fact, foundational Black Americans need to take advantage of this time. But that being said, they're not doing this for the conversation that's happening today. They're doing this so they can heavily exaggerate when and if they ever get back into power. So they're going to be like, we all know how terrible the Donald Trump the days was. We had the whole No Kings rally. They're trying to do all of this to line themselves up to look back at it later to exaggerate on how bad it was, even though it's not bad. Jay made an excellent point. The Venezuela thing, they were crying about that. But let's not forget, Joe Biden put a bounty, $25 million bounty on Maduro before he left office. So it's understood this guy was a war criminal. He committed crimes against humanity. He punished journalists. He locked up political prisoners. The Joe Biden administration didn't even acknowledge him as president of Venezuela. So I don't understand why they were crying about it. Well, the reason why they were crying about it because Trump derangement syndrome. Anytime Trump does something, they can't acknowledge how good it was. They have to make it back because they acknowledge the good in it. That means He's not this evil man they say he is. But also, that's one of the reasons why they always fucking up, because they like to point to Trump and say, "Hey, evil man, evil man, evil man, evil man," right? And that's why I say, if he unalived 7 people, say he unalived 7 people. Don't say he unalived 22, because then it makes the 7 seem less significant, right? And that's what they do. Every time something happens, they blow it out of proportion. Now, when something happens they should be concerned about, it just seems like you guys treat everything like this, right? You yell the sky is falling if it's because he didn't renew U.S. aid. Now you're saying the sky is falling because, in the same intensity they had when he canceled U.S. aid is the same intensity they had when he started this war with Iran. It's like, all right, people are burnt out on them. The reason why people are upset about this war, honestly, right now, is because gas prices are rising. Even though we don't get none of our gas from over there in Iran, we don't get our gas from there. We get our gas from Canada, Mexico, and the good old U.S. of A. So this whole armed conflict really didn't affect us in any way, shape, or form. What affected us was the speculation, and all of them, Democrats and Republicans, made money off of that because they knew that this conflict was coming first. They knew what that would do to a price of oil, so they invested in it. So they made a lot of money off of this. So they knew it was coming. It's like I think either Turan or Jay said this earlier. They all play the same game because they two birds of the same wing. Like, these people know what they're doing. They're neither one of them are to be trusted. However, when it comes to policy, as me, I say this all the time. I am foundational Black American first, America only. That's my foreign policy. As long as it benefits America, we golden. Unlike most people who come to this country, we were born here. We can go back 7, 8 generations, right? So our allegiance to this country only. We have no interest in any other foreign country at all. It's America only for us, not America first. And I'll land with that.
Well, I want to say this, right? So, and you brought up a lot of great points, but this is the reason why I said Trump is not, he's acting the way that an imperial ruler should act. He's not doing anything out of the ordinary. But
Oh, I didn't disagree with you on that. I agree with you.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you disagree. That's why I said I just wanted to reiterate the point. But for example, you got a lot of the people that saying Democrats, they don't like what he's doing. They not there. They want to speak out against it, but they in turn, especially people like Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, all the rest of them, they know that this is what he needs to do in order to keep America afloat. Because you can't run an empire without taking new territory. That's just what an empire has to do. And this was really led by them, because you got the billionaires on Wall Street, you got Silicon Valley, you got a lot of these people that are major entities and players in the American hegemony that don't understand that the world has changed. People are going to go their own way. This whole BRICS thing, and the reason why they want to fight back for their oil is because they know they got billion-dollar resources. And America's like, well, we'll use diplomacy. All of that is just encroachment. They'll say that we'll be at a negotiating table, talk about XYZ, and then send in the military and have them have an outpost. That's why Iran blew up all of those military bases in the Middle East, because they don't want those people there anymore. They don't want that American hegemony encroaching on their territory, taking away from their resources and their people, and destabilizing their regions. But you got the billionaires on Wall Street, which is the oil market, that petrodollar, what everything is based off of, which is keeping the pockets of the Democrats rich. And then they can go, well, oh, well, we need democracy here, and we need to do it here, da 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 da, so they can expand it to keep themselves rich. And I think that, I'm not saying that Trump is right for what he's doing. I'm just saying that he's acting in a way that any kind of imperial leader should be doing it. Now, should he do it? I'm not going to say yes or no on that, but I'm just saying he's following, the rules of engagement at that point. We got any more comments to though, and
Yeah, I'm gonna read a couple of them. Let's see. These fools saying no kings, acting like it when they were in power. These no kings protests are fake as hell. They pull up in vans handing out pre-made signs. Talking about no kings trying to reverse psychology, people are stupid. Unfortunately, a lot of people are stupid though. Damn, that was it. They pretty quiet. They more so listening than anything. That's the Dems for you. Keep the rich rich, the poor poor.
There you go. See that's the point right there. Whoever said that, he got it. Nail on the head.
Lucky.
Democrats are the party of the poor. You see what?
I was reading a dude's name, Lucky SSX, whatever the hell, Lucky, whatever the hell. Go ahead.
Shout out to Lucky, man. Lucky, spot on. See, the Democrats are the party of the poor. You can't have people getting money because then they stop being poor. So one of the things you notice in the Democratic districts, they have more regulations than the conservative districts. The reason for that is because if you take a look back in the 1900s, and we'll even go up to about 1960, 1970, right? People would build their own house. And they would hire somebody to do the electrical work and the plumbing and things of that nature, right? All of that got put to the side, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, look, we got contracts to build the homes. A lot of your wealth actually comes from the land you own and what you do with that land. If you make it to where it's almost impossible to build your own house based on the regulations, then you have to get mortgages and that you have less money to move around. If you go back and you look at what people were doing, you used to order a house off of a Macy's catalog, and they would send you everything. I say that to say this. His comment about the poor makes a lot of sense. The Democrats want to keep people poor so they can keep fighting for you. That's why under Gavin Newsom, California homeless rates have shot through the roof. The state is more poor because they're raising more taxes. So all while they'll bitch and complain about prices and affordability, which is crazy because that bill Biden did pushed inflation through the roof. And then now 2 years later, they tell you affordability is a key issue, but they neglect to tell the ad that a lot of their policies put us in this situation. So yeah, that was spot on. Yes, they are the party of the poor. So they manufacture poor people.
Again, thank you for Torn Daniel, John, coming up, giving your perspective. Shout out to everybody in the listening section as well on Twitter. Shout out to the 100 plus people we got on YouTube right now listening in. Yeah, we just chopping it up, man. And like I said, if y'all don't know, if some people that's new here, this conversation, Gavin Newsom is so trash in the facts. This conversation is well faceted. We can get on anything. We like to keep the main thing, but y'all more than welcome to, ask questions in the chat. Whether that be on topic or off topic, we like to have these conversations kind of, switching around. Especially when you got, when you own 2-3 hours, it's only, so much where you get to beating the same conversation over the head where it starts to get a little bit of like, you start to get some fatigue from it. So the conversation is open, especially for the chat. I definitely want the chat to be adding more into this, giving y'all perspectives, comments, questions, whatever they may be. So we listening in. And yeah, if anybody in the listening section want to come up, man, you're more than welcome to.
Y'all did see that I think the Democrats, the lady, I guess that Indian lady or whatever her name, like Pramal or some shit like that, was sitting there talking about trying to give illegals reparations or some shit like that. It's fucking stupid.
Well, you said, where is it at?
It was I just seen it on here. Somebody had it. It's basically one of the Democrats is basically advocating that illegal immigrants should get reparations because of ICE.
What do you know where we're at though? Like where are they like they're just a political figure, or are they like in like a certain area? Maybe like they like a
no, she's in Congress. I think she's a congresswoman.
Okay.
Yeah, she said I saw the video he's talking about. She said that.
Okay.
Which is fucking crazy because like you're illegal. Like you're illegally here. So it's like basically having somebody illegally in your home and we're gonna give them money for breaking into your home. Like that's fucking stupid. Like no,
you talking about Rashida Tlaib.
I think that's who that is. I don't know. She's a representative.
I said that because I know what video you're talking about. I saw it on Instagram today. I think I saw it today. It was either today or yesterday. and they were playing it. Yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous. See, but see that this is why I say co-colonizing cohorts. Whenever we have something that's going on, you have another group of people that will come in and try to siphon off of whatever we got, like blood-sucking leeches. Like what would reparations for them even look like?
Basically the same shit that they get now. All this free shit for no reason. Free benefits, like Dr. Claude Anderson said. Free benefits of doing nothing.
I don't know if y'all remember. I'm sure Daniel knows. Karen Bass. She was talking about giving money to families that were just affected by ICE, meaning not the fact that they were actually sent back home, but she was talking about giving money, taxpayer money out of Los Angeles, coming out of regular taxpayer dollars, giving money to families who were who were scared of ICE, or who felt affected from ICE, or who felt like they were paranoid because of ICE. Like a mental thing, not even anything is physical. You know how many black people LAPD is LAPD? I think, is it Baltimore PD? I don't know if they call it BPD, and New York NYPD. The most corrupt. I think statistically, Baltimore PD is the most corrupt. Unfortunately, that's J City. I think statistically, since like they've been doing stats on like police that have been arrested or any type of corruption in a department. Baltimore PD is number one over the last like 50 years or whatever. Whenever they started doing that study, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure last time I looked at it was Baltimore. But LAPD, NYPD, the most corrupt police systems in America. You know what I mean? So the fact that all of these white people have been the main people affected by corruption in the police force and mistreatment. Where the fuck is that money at? You mean to tell me? And obviously it's because of Karen Bass is a damn, she's a Latino. And it's just like, why would that be your focus? Why would that be the thing that you're willing to give money to? You know what I mean? And this was after, I don't know if this was after, but I'm pretty sure this was after the fires. This was after the wildfires that they had. And the wildfires was started by a white man, by the way, if y'all don't know. But this was after the wildfires. So that's not only on Gavin Newsom, but it's on Karen Bass. You mean to tell me that you're willing to give money to these people just from being scared? Man, come on, man. Fuck out of here.
The police force.
Oh, I wanted to say something, but go ahead, my fault, John.
Are you delayed, Jay?
Police force.
Nah.
Okay, go ahead, John. My bad.
The police force all out in California, that shit full of white supremacist gangs. So
and not only them, our so-called brown brothers as well. That's why I said that coalition just don't work. A lot of them got nothing but a bunch of like gangs all up and through those departments. That's why I said the LAPD is in my top 5 most corrupt police departments in America.
Well, apparently the feds ain't the same, because inside of it they identified gangs. One of them called the Outlaws, the Regulators, Cowboys, all type of shit. Right? These are police gangs, like behind the badge. Like these are certified gang members called the Regulators. And one of the things to get on the Regulators, you got to kill somebody. You ever seen that movie? I think it was Den of Thieves. And he showed him that tattoo and it said Regulator. That's a throwback to that. That's that real gang. The Fed said that. And they say, yo, listen, police departments have been infiltrated by white supremacists. But they said this. They said this was a part of their game plan. They're going to become judges, lawyers, police officers, and they're going to make life hard on the brown people. So that's what they were talking about. They didn't say brown, they said black people. I'm just correcting you, because now when you look at the files, they changed the word black to brown and colored. And they do that though. But yeah. But I just want to say, yeah, Jay is 100% correct. And then I think Ant was talking about Baltimore. If you listen to, I think it was called the GTG, the Gun Trace Unit or something like that. You know what I'm talking about, don't you, Jay? That was a thing in Baltimore. They had so many false arrests. They had like you would get arrested on let's say Friday or something like that. Come Monday morning, they'll let you out, no trial, no nothing. Just sign these papers, you good to go. Because that's how corrupt the system was. They had to have a speed line to get people out of jail because they couldn't prosecute real crimes because they were just chasing the numbers. So what they would do is they would go to the feds and be like, hey, listen, we've had 75 felony arrests a day. We're cleaning up the streets, right? But what they were doing is they were upgrading crimes from small misdemeanors to the harshest little small felony prosecutions, not necessarily convictions, but prosecutions. So they get that federal aid money. So when they was going, they've been talking about corruption. That's what they do. That's the reason why they got to make their numbers. And when they talk about quotas, that's something that the supervisor will tell them. Hey, listen, if we don't have enough, if we don't have X amount of cases prosecuted, we don't get this type of funding next year. And if they don't get the type of funding, they mean they don't get more training, they don't get more raises, they don't get more retreats. So in other words, in order for them to get more money, they have to make crime harsher, right? Instead of making crime go away, they manufacture crime to make money.
California basically they're basically back in Jim Crow. It's just that instead of it being a bunch of white people doing it, the white supremacists have innovated racism now by importing illegals, all of these other people from all of these other groups and shit.
Hey, no, that's 100% correct. I want to say this though, because Ant brought up Baltimore. If y'all don't know, that's where I'm from. So this is the city of corruption, city of cold cases, city of everything. Like it's worse than Gotham down here. Being from Baltimore City. So, everything that y'all said is true. And this has been a documented occurrence since I want to say. I mean, this is almost 100 years of corruption because the way that Baltimore City runs, you can get hemmed up in the system and be there for so long, you forget like what the whole like even not the crime you did, but at least you forget like what the timeline should be. Like for like small stuff like speeding tickets or misdemeanors or this or like murders and stuff like that. When you get to like major crimes, there's so many things. They got unmarked police cars down here. They got like armed. This it's not like Chicago where everything have a bunch of cameras, but there's a lot of armed deterrence like everywhere in the city and in the outskirts. And there's like a lot of major cases that we had that came down here, like Freddie Gray. The prosecutor and the judge in that case, they were already reprimanded for throwing out falsified information, beating up on inmates. And then if y'all know about the jail that closed down, Baltimore City Jail, because it had to move it to Jessup. If y'all know what Jessup is, that's a little bit further at the outskirts of Baltimore City, in the county area. Uh, that jail was ran by the inmates, so they just had their way. They did whatever they wanted to do. They they was doing stuff with the COs. It was all kind of stuff. Like so when you talk about corruption and not even this, I feel like this is a touchy topic because as a Baltimorean, like why bring up Sheila Dixon? But I know y'all, if you know about Baltimore, then you gotta know about that whole scandal with the gift cards and Sheila Dixon and stuff like that. So this is deeply entrenched here, and they use this as a proxy for whatever, like for a lot of stuff that they want to do down there in Washington, because DC only 45 minutes away. So they come through, like bring the feds through, got the raid trucks, just as much as how like in like California, they got tanks in their police departments, and they can like go through your neighborhood and with full riot gear on and actually control like the streets. So like an outpost. So it's everything y'all said it was and a little bit worse. I think we got a new speaker that came up. FBA over tethers.
I want to say this real quick. Just since you just mentioned it, and then we're gonna let FBA speak. If we talking statistically, population wise, Baltimore PD is number one when it comes to police corruption. It's Baltimore PD, New Orleans PD, Ferguson Police Department, Lexington, Cleveland, which is my city, St. Louis, Jacksonville, Phoenix, Miami. And if we're talking about obviously with population, if you just do population based on numbers, obviously it's NYPD, LAPD, Chicago PD, and Phoenix and Houston. But those are the top 5 biggest cities in the country. But like I said, if you go by population, Baltimore is number one by far. It's ridiculous. So I just wanted to add that on there. So yeah, FBA, you want to go ahead and speak?
Yeah. Did y'all see the Democrats are asking for reparations for immigrants now?
Yeah, that's what we was talking about. Yeah.
Okay, I just came in.
No, it's all good. Yeah, it's all good. If you want to speak on it, go ahead. Yeah, it's all good. The conversation,
No, I came to hear y'all talk about it.
Yeah, we was mentioning that. I don't know if anybody will go more in deeper detail, and I'll read some of the chat. But yeah, man, I was just speaking. I mean, this started well before recently. I don't know if you saw, like I said earlier, Karen Bass out of L.A. She was talking about giving people money. I don't know if they actually did it or not. I did a video on it. I don't know if they actually did it, but she was talking about giving people money simply from being scared. Anybody that was affected by ICE, she was simply by being scared, taxpayer dollars, which is Black Americans in New York City and everybody, or in Los Angeles County and everybody else, excuse me, have to spend money because a Mexican is scared because it's a possibility that his family could have got deported. It's bullshit.
Oh, so she was paying them to stay home, basically, so they won't be out in the streets getting caught.
That, but it was more so. Even that even that sounds as delusional and crazy. That sounds better than people affected by ICE. So if you feel in fear of ICE, here goes some money, man. Get the fuck out of here. Get the F out of here. Let me not curse.
And I'm talking about she was sitting there talking about giving them like 400 racks, bro, $400,000, like real big money. I'm like, what the fuck?
Man, they spend $300 billion on immigrants the last 4 years. Yet they can't do anything to improve our communities when we ask for finance. So
It's crazy.
I mean, it's government policy that they do everything for everybody else and don't do anything for us. That is government policy. It's like an unspoken that's the policy they give us. So we can return the favor by not fucking voting for them, and like I said, like Torrance said, like we doing our own thing. So they gonna have to figure something out.
Makes you realize how much that 3/5 compromise has been around. Makes you realize how long that thing is still in effect. They may not say that it is, but I mean you can still feel the remnants of it.
I want to make sure I mention this too. Torrance made a great point earlier. I think most of us agree with this, or at least I do. I'm not no Republican. Don't get it twisted. I'm not a Republican nor no Democrat. They both can crash and burn for me. I may lean more conservative in my views, but I say this all the time. I'm not a Republican. I don't support the right, nor am I a Trump supporter. But obviously, as black people, we understand that the majority of black people for the last 50, 60 years have just been on the, riding the wave of the Democratic Party while we get nothing in the end. So that's why they become to be more critical. Or we, at least me and other people, we may be more critical of the Democratic Party simply because that's what our people is attached to. But nah, we don't. I'm not no fucking Republican. I don't support the right either. Let me read some of the chat, and if anybody want to jump in, y'all more than welcome to. The movie Glass Shield highlighted it. A dude on that did an interview that used to be a Baltimore cop was deep in horrible shit, and he's a tether. Over up to $1 trillion taxpayer dollars stolen. People getting locked up for theft in the village. These MFers better get a life. Trillion or even 1 million can get them 25 to life. If you do the math to how many years bank robbery do that math for these treasure robbery. Again, I'm just reading the chat, y'all. Is Sister Brooke on my thing? She's in the listening section. Is she up here, or is she trying to request up? Because I think her hand being waved.
She has her hand raised.
Is she in the speaker section or the listening section?
The listening section.
Okay, let me invite her up. It don't say that you was up here, Sister Brooke. If you want, okay, there we go.
Yeah, I don't see.
Yeah, I didn't see.
Now
her
I see it.
Yeah, I see it now. I just seen it now. Sister Brooke, go ahead. You got it. Sorry for keeping you waiting. I didn't even see your name up there. I saw you waving though.
She has to unmute her mic.
Brooke, you good?
She probably over on YouTube.
Yeah, so she
in your YouTube chat too.
I think so.
I was gonna say something real quick. So a lot of these places, like Baltimore, New York, Chicago, New Orleans, they use the police as a revenue generation. Notice most of the tickets they give are administrative tickets. The ones you got to pay for to go away. You write 400 tickets at $30, and all of a sudden the money start looking good. So I heard somebody say this one time, and I was one of my mentor, Sonny Johnson, a brilliant lady. If you don't know her, you should definitely meet her. She was talking about this. She was like, "Yeah, they use police to task force," and I just kind of just put it in the what's the name? It says this is what the AI says. It says while the primary legal purpose of police is to enforce criminal law and maintain public safety, many critics and researchers have argued that police departments frequently act as a revenue generating entities or a tax force through fines, fees, and forfeitures. So if you guys pay attention in New York, this guy couldn't pay his water bill. It was like $500. And to settle that $500 debt, they sold his $3.2 million brownstone and argued that was okay. So the shit get real deep. And they do this a lot of older people too. They make a mistake. They don't know how to update the system. Then they will come take your home over a minimal fine. Crazy. Sister Brooke, you there? She might be asleep.
It was the same thing, I think, in South Carolina. A guy, they said he mistakenly got himself to own like 9 or 10 acres of land and all the house, like all the property on top of it. And then they were like, oh, that was an accounting error. And we have to fix it. And but it was I mean, it's a legal document that says that this is his property. This is under his jurisdiction. And they trying to take his house and all of the stuff, like all the assets that's built on top of that property. So they do this to the black Americans to take our wealth away and then leave us leave us destitute and looking for a new place to call home. That dislocation. And that, I think, to what Torian and Daniel was saying earlier, that's what is going down with the Ukrainians, all of the other immigrants, everybody coming back, from that war in the Middle East. They're gonna have them displaced, and and they're gonna start putting them in black areas because there's no other way to put them. There's nowhere else to put them.
Hey, Brooke, leave the space and come back. She
Yeah, I
says
just
every
sent her a
Every
time she
message.
every
requests,
time
she
I
can't
try to
kick
let
her.
her up, it says it's an error.
Yeah.
Okay.
There
Oh
she
wait, I
go.
think it's working now.
Oh, is she talking? She's talking now.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What up, Brooke?
Okay. Every time I would unclick my mic, it would kick me out. The whole like out of Twitter, the whole app. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. I've been enjoying the conversation. I just wanted to add a little something. The lady's name I put in the chat. Her name is the I think she was a senator. Her name was I can't even pronounce it. Pramila. Um,
Almost like Kamala name. Yeah,
yeah,
Kamala.
Pramila Jaya Paul. It sounds Indian to me. Anyway, that she's the one who was saying that immigrants should get reparations for being illegal. And then the other thing I just wanted to add was that I talk about this book all the time. My big sis Keish had me read it. It's called The Invisible Coup. And it talks about how the Democratic Party have been using illegals to vote for quite some time. Like, we're just kind of being turned on to it now. Like in New York, one of those YouTubers, I can't remember his name. It wasn't Nick Shirley, though. I can't remember his name, but he did like an expose where he went into the voter registration office, and there was a Caribbean guy in there, and he basically was telling him that it's okay to register to vote, that nobody's going to check and everything like that, and you could be illegal, you could be from somewhere else, nobody's going to check. And I know when I went to go vote that they never asked me for ID. So this is like becoming like known that illegals are voting in our elections, right? And so in the book, it was saying that this has been going on since the Clinton administration, that this is how long that they have been using illegals as to pump their numbers and to remain in power. And so but the problem is that after they're here for they only vote Democrat for one presidential election. By the time the next cycle comes around, they become Republicans. So then it creates this revolving door of illegals that they have to bring in to keep their voter base where it is. And it seems that, the Democrats are so desperate that they could care less that they are accidentally or on purpose bringing in people who actually hate America. And there are different groups that hate America for different reasons. The Hispanics hate America because they feel that especially the Mexicans in particular, they feel that that they should have never sold some of the properties that they sold that they didn't even have for very long in the first place. And so now they feel that I forgot the name of the leader who actually sold those properties, but those states. But they feel like, that as they keep sending enough,
They lost the
actually
Spanish
pay,
American War.
right, the Spanish American War. And so they actually pay for their citizens to come over and to become citizens or illegal here. And then it also talks about, the Chinese and how they're doing their the birthright citizenship thing, which is extremely egregious, where they're mailing their sperm over here and mailing their eggs over here and then hiring American surrogates to carry the child, which then makes the child an American, and then shipping the child back to China and raising the child in China. And then when the child becomes of age, they the child can come back as an American citizen but raised under the People's Republic of China. So there are various countries that we have issues with that are taking full advantage, and it seems that the Democrats could care less that this is happening as long as they get their votes. And so it's really insidious when you really start reading. Like I recommend that every American, black, white, purple, whatever, read that book, because it really goes into detail of how these plots that they have to usurp America is happening. Even here in New York with the mayor that we have, um as you can see, they're allowing all of these people over here and into New York, and people who hate America. Look how we just had two young I don't even know what you can and cannot say, two young guys throwing boom booms all around the place. You know what I mean? And so and the mayor refused to call them the T word. And so, this is the problem. You're letting all these people over here and they hate America. They don't want to make America better, or to help fight to make America better. They want to take over America and thwart it from the inside. And I truly believe that is our mayor's ultimate goal. He is here he is a part of the coup. He is here to ruin New York. He has failed this city, and he has only been in office yet. I don't think he's even been in office 6 months yet. He's already failed this city, and I believe that his intentions are to kill the city. And I'll land there.
I want to say this too. Thank you, Sister Brooke. Can you please, because we have, hold on. Because I think it's a good time to do it. We have, how many people we got in here listening?
I wanna. Oh, my fault, bro. Was you talking?
I'm gonna be quick. We got 142 people on YouTube, and then we got probably, I don't know, maybe like 20 people on 30 people on Twitter. Plug the emails, because we got people watching, we got people listening, and if you want to, if you can email me the link, and I'll pin it in the chat for a little bit so people can look at it.
Where do I email you?
My email.
Oh, you can DM you the link?
Yeah, I could DM you. I mean, my email is public. It's realantceo@gmail.com.
realantceo@gmail.com.
Yep.
Okay. Yes, thank you so much. That was definitely the right segue to go into that, but I wasn't going to do it without your permission. I definitely like to respect people's space. So thank you so much. Yes. So here in New York, my name is Brooke, and I fight for reparations and delineation for foundational Black Americans on the state level. And so we have a unconstitutional, you might have seen some of our reparations hearings testimonies gone a little viral. And that is us, fighting the unconstitutional bill in which the reparations hearing is founded on. And so us showing up to the hearings is us playing defense to an unconstitutional bill, and it's unconstitutional because it is race-based. And as we see with affirmative action and DEI, you cannot have anything race-based. And so President Devine of the U.S. Freedmen Project, not to be confused with other freedmen organizations that we have nothing to do with, President Devine, he and us and our champion assembly person, Nikki Lucas, have written a constitutionally sound bill for reparations, right? And it's constitutionally sound because it is based on our lineage and status as freedmen, right? And so that is what makes it constitutional, because it's not based on our race. Now, every foundational Black American is Black, but every Black person is not. Oh, sorry, every freedman is Black, but every Black person is not a freedman. And so that is what makes it status and not race-based, right? And so we are fighting the unconstitutional bill with the constitutionally sound bill. So what I'm doing is I'm asking our family members and allies, if there are any, to send emails to our legislators regarding our constitutionally sound bill so they can drop the unconstitutional bill, right? And so when you're sending these emails um, reinforce the meetings that President Devine is having with these legislators. We make jokes all the time about how white people, whenever they have like just a pothole in front of their house, they're writing their senator and saying, come fix this pothole. So essentially you're doing the same thing. You're writing a letter to our legislators demanding that they support our constitutionally sound bill, right? And so there are 5 emails on the link. The link is bit.ly/BREUCK call to action. That's bit.ly/BREUCK call to action, right? So when you go to that link, there are going to be 5 pre-written emails. They're pre-written, so you don't have to worry about what to say, how to say it. We already got all that taken care of for you. We are 100% transparent. You can see the bills, the bill that we wrote, the bill that's unconstitutional. And so that is all there for you to take a look at, right? So I said that there were 5 emails. So the first email is about reparations, and then the second, third, and fourth email about delineation and disaggregation, right? And so delineation and disaggregation is the key to everything, right? Because let's just put reparations to the side for a second, right? Whatever we get or whatever we want to get, whatever set asides we want to get just for us, we have to delineate first, right? Because as of right now, this is why Kathy Holcomb does real shady shit like, I'm gonna give $16 million to a historically Black neighborhood, which doesn't have any historically Black people in it anymore because they gentrified them all out of there. So this is how we get rid of this. This is how we get rid of, we're gonna have minority set asides. We're gonna give this to low income area. We're gonna give this to urban communities, so because they can't give out race-based anything. So that is why they use these broad terms that generally mean we get the scraps and the other people that they have brought in on top of us get the lion's share. Right. So when we delineate, then now we can get set asides for freedmen in particular. Right. And so that is why the delineation disaggregation bill is the thing that we are focused on the most right now, because they have already delineated for the AAPI and the MENA group. Right. The AAPI are the Asians and the MENA group are the Muslims. The Chinese want to be separated from the Japanese. Japanese want to be separated from the Samoans. And so they've already passed the bill for that. The Muslims, which would be Mandami's group, want to want to delineate from being white. I believe they are the first people on the planet that have wanted to delineate from being white, but they feel that they were, subjugated after 9/11, and they don't want to be white no more. Okay. And so but because they have already done that, right, that their bills have already passed, right, they have not changed the paperwork. And so one thing we realize with that is even when we get this bill passed, there's still more work to do, right? So being that they haven't had their paperwork changed, if we can get this, no, not if, when we get this bill passed this legislative session, because with you guys' help, you guys are going to help us manifest this into being this legislative session. So once we get this manifested this legislative session, we can then we don't have to hear from Kathy Holcomb, oh, you know what I mean, we already did this for the MENA and NPI, we don't want to do it again. They can change all three categories at one time. And so that's why we are really, really pressing this legislative session for that particular bill to be passed, right? So you guys have been amazing so far. There have been 100,000 emails sent already, and I know with your help and with your audience here, and we can send 100,000 more, because my goal is 50 million. Okay, because that's how many foundational Black Americans there are in the country, and so I want every single one of us to send an email. You don't have to send it one time. You can send it more than once. My homegirl, she sends it every day at 10 a.m. She got it on repeat. Okay. So make sure you send these emails out to these legislators. You don't have to be from New York. What happens in New York will spread across the country, just like what happened in California has now spread to New York, right? And so it will be in a city near you. Our bills are extremely tight because we have some of the longest Afro
You
immigrants.
fucking monkeys will never get reparations.
Okay, so we got a tether. We got a tether. Sorry about that, Sister Brooke. We got a tether that's trolling. But what they want is a reaction. And we ain't gonna give him a reaction. We're gonna go ahead and get you up out of here. We're gonna leave you to your bushmeat soup or whatever you got, monkey stew or whatever that is. We're gonna go back to doing what we doing. Go ahead, Sister Brooke. Sorry about that. It's on me. It's a double mute.
Okay, child, it wasn't letting me unmute. It's okay. Thank you so much for ending that as quickly as you did, but it doesn't bother me at all. I'm
Yeah, they
very
want a
much used to
reaction.
it, and yeah, I'm secure, And
Mm-hmm.
so there was a time when people like that said that we would never be free. There was a time when people like that said we would never um, uh, end segregation. But as we see, we did both of those things. And so we don't need their approval. We don't need their okay. It will happen without their approval and their okay, because that's what we do. We manifest things into being. We force their hand. We force it into happening. And that's what we're going to do with these emails that you're sending. So Pastor when President Divine is when President Divine is setting up these meetings with these legislators.
A pastor without a church, huh?
Not another one. Oh Lord. No,
Hey
not to be
yo.
confused. Not to be confused with the two most famous pastors without a church, okay? That my mama been talking about since I was a little kid, okay? But anyway, so President Devine of the U.S. Freeman Project, when he's setting up these meetings with these legislators, these emails are so important. They make his rough places smooth and crooked places straight because, it lets the legislative know who actually has the grassroots support, what Black Americans actually want, right? And it's also shining a light on the legacy organizations and how impotent they are, right? I'm not on TikTok, so I could actually say that word. How impotent they are in this struggle because they just cannot get to the finish line, right? So that is what these emails accomplish. They're asking questions like, how come this hasn't been done already? You guys are the oldest ethnic group in the country. And so it is just shining a light on how ineffective they have been. And so, that is why these emails are so important. So if you could just send them, send them, send them, I would really, really appreciate it. Like I said, you don't have to be from New York. It will spread across the country and then we'll take it federal. And we'll just make people like that idiot that came up here eat his own shoe.
Are they doing that? Sister Brooke, if you could send me the email, because you can't drop links in the chat,
Yes,
my little bot thing.
I'm sorry, I can't. I'm not good at multitasking when I'm talking. What's your email address again? I'm gonna send it right now.
Yeah, it's realantceo@gmail.com.
Real and
Because if it's my little moderate, because just to stop people from sending random links in my chat, people be weird. I got my moderator
I know I
thing set up, so
understand.
don't let you. But yeah, if you send it to my email, I'm gonna drop it right in the chat. And I'm gonna pin it so people can
Okay.
know. But you finish what you were saying though. If I cut you off, I had thought you had
No,
stopped.
that was it. I was wrapping it up because
Okay, for
I
sure.
don't want to, talk too long and tire out
No, it's all good.
your
People need to hear
audience.
it.
And I thank
Yeah,
them so much for listening to me.
absolutely. And I want to say too, she's in New York, y'all, which is Tether Central. If you know, you know. So that's where it's needed the most because our ethnic group is down out there. It's not. I mean, I don't even think I'm not
Mhm.
from New York. I ain't trying to speak on New York, but I don't even think the majority of people, out there are us. It's Caribbeans and Africans and Latinos, correct?
Well, in the city, yes, but New York is a big state.
Yeah.
So when you factor in the entire state, we're still the majority. But in New York City and where I grew up in East Flatbush, and I was pretty much the only American when I was growing up.
Wow.
So, so yeah, I would say in the city and in certain enclaves, they definitely have their enclaves. But we'll see what happens after TPS status ends.
Yeah. So that's where it's needed the most, and that tether that came up here, like people like that just proved the point even more. Why these things need to be done. So if I can use my platform for anything, I'm gonna definitely use it. So those emails can get sent out, and people can send them who they need to send it to. And shit, I need to do it again. I think I only did like twice. I need to do it again myself while I'm bullshitting. But yeah, send me the email, Sister Brooke. I'm gonna put that in the chat immediately, and we'll go from there. And I think let me read a couple of these.
I said that you should be getting it now.
Okay, I got you. Read a couple of these comments just real quick. Somebody said New York didn't have slaves. New York did have slaves. New York had slaves on Wall Street. If you don't know that.
Brooklyn was the largest slave plantation in the colonies.
Mm-hmm.
So when people say things like not only did New York have slaves, New York built Wall Street. New York built they cleared the land, they cleared the brush. There was a lot of things here in New York, and not only did New York have slavery, but uh, New York wanted to secede from the Union with the South. They were the most pro-slavery state in the North, along with New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? So because New York and New Jersey were together under the same governor at that time. And so when people say things like that, that just shows me that you don't quite understand the history of New York. And when people that you sound like someone who would say something like immigrants built New York when it was actually Black Americans who built New York. And then immigrants came here after New York was already a money-making, thriving city to benefit off of the money-making and the thriving that was already happening before they got here.
Thank you, Sister Brooke. And it's a misconception. Like I said, they had slavery on Wall Street. And people think they didn't have slavery in California. They had slavery in California as well. So a lot of people don't know that. And I didn't even know that until maybe a couple years ago. I didn't even know that. I thought slavery was only in the South. But you do your research, you realize a lot of the stuff and misconceptions does not that you believe. I didn't think they had slavery in New York and California. They absolutely did. So let me read a couple more of these comments. Washington State has what they call reparations. It's no down payment or closing costs for Black first-time home buyers. That's not reparations though. No church in a while. But even if Black lineage is secure, taken care of by procreating with the same tribe slash people slash village, you can't get reparations for fighting for freedom. Interesting that does remind me of a book I read. Sorry, I was a little dense for a minute, thinking south and north. That was the person who asked about the New York and slavery, or said she didn't know that New York
You
had
should
slavery.
also check out a book called The Kidnapping Club
Well, I want
by
to.
Jonathan Daniel. It talks about how not only was there slavery in New York, but there was also a large free black population here, and they would kidnap them. This is like what the movie 12 Years a Slave was about. They would kidnap free black people, black women and children especially, but men as well, and they would sell them down into the South. So yeah, please educate yourself. Like I said, that book is called The Kidnapping Club. Frederick Douglass was you could find out about people named David Ruggles, who was a conductor on the Underground Railroad. Yeah, so there's a long history of revolts, slavery, and kidnapping clubs here in New York.
Real quick, I got you, Jay. I just want to read a couple more of these comments, and then you got it, Jay. Now, America First Matters. Why I didn't know that. The woman said, "Thank you. I enjoy learning." It's all right. You didn't know. It's all good. That's why we have these conversations. Shit, I learn a lot, especially from Jay and Daniel. And Sister Brooke too. People like all of them. Do y'all know our 20,000 enslaved ancestors are buried underneath the Wall Street building? I think I heard about something like that before.
Yeah,
But I
there's
need
a
to do
lot of
deeper
places that
research on
we
it.
are buried. We're buried. Our bones and our blood is within this soil all over this country. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, definitely in New York. That is why we were out there at the Negro burial ground where Ghana was trying to play in our face.
Yep. That link right there, y'all, is pinned. That's the link where you guys can send the emails. And what Sister Brooke was talking about. And then one more thing. Who do you think is more entitled to reparations, Native Americans or Black people? Well, first off, a lot of Black Americans have Native American in us. We come from the tribes of here. Not to mention, they gave them Native Americans them casinos. So I mean, shit. If anything, it's us, because who put in the work and built this country? It wasn't them. It was us. I mean, I mean, some of those people were enslaved, sure, but we were the ones who did that stuff. They got them casinos. They got them sovereign lands all across America. We don't got none of that shit. Every time we try to get a place and an isolated place and secure, all they do is tear that shit down. And to me, reparations ain't just for slavery. Reparations need to
Can I
be,
say something to that, bro?
yeah, for sure. Reparations need to be for all the different communities that we have that they've destroyed. It needs to be from Jim Crow. It needs to be from Red Lyman. It needs to be from the Freedmen's Bank. All of that shit. But go ahead, Jay.
Yeah. So about that, like, um, so the thing about people when they say and they bring up the Native Americans is they say that they were here first, that they went they were colonized and all of that, but westward expansion never stopped. Even if you want to believe in the out of Africa theory, like we all were here, well, they came and got us or whatever, because that's not true, but still that would still be a form of westward expansion, encroachment of foreign territory brought back to the United States. And then the people that were here that are indigenous, that are foundational, which a lot of us have lineage with, those people were up, like he said, a part of the tribes. And they changed our name and classification status to reflect that, to say that, the black people or the copper colored people, whatever you want to call them, were not the same indigenous population as the Native Americans, when they were in fact the Native Americans. And even it's a lot of stories that have come out that when we were all on the plantations, the only other people that you could mate with were those natives too. So we got black people that can go 4 or 5 generations, through their family tree and find a Cherokee ancestor, find another person from a native tribe. And like Ant was saying with the casinos, we didn't get anything. They just stripped us of that heritage that we know, and that was known to a lot of our grandparents, and give us something else, and then we go to these schools and they just tell us out of Africa theory, and then you need to go back to Africa or talk to them to get money for reparations. That's not true. So I would suggest whoever was in a chat that was asking about that, you got to just do a little bit more research and do your genealogy. And when you may find that you have some native in you. I got Pentecostaway and not Cherokee, but I think Gullah, because my family come from South Carolina, and you're not from Baltimore if you don't got family in South Carolina. I'm just gonna tell you that. So um, I can't go down there and do anything with none of them people. That's how many cousins I got. What you got to say though, Dane?
I was gonna say, yeah, no. So a lot of what Jay is saying is true. Um, I was reading this Up from Slavery book, Booker T. Washington, and he talks about how they put him in charge of the natives from the reservations over at Hampton University. This is like 1800s. And one of the kids got sick, so he took him to DC. And when they got to the hotel, he was like, "Yeah, they said that the native could stay there, but he couldn't because he was, Negro." And he said, "We got the same complexion, but they could tell the difference based on behavior." Right. So that being said, when you start doing your genealogy, like Jay was just talking about, you'll see you have a lot. My grandmother was full-blooded Choctaw. Grew up on a reservation, the whole nine. I go look at my dad's ancestry, and just like on my grandma's side, on my dad's side, her father was a full-blooded, native. So was my grandfather's mother. So when I started, the more I look at it, the more you see they actually just reclassified a lot of us because we were already here. You take the Spanish logs, because the Spanish occupied this land before the British did. So did the French. If you look at their logs, they will tell you that these were dark people over here, Negroes. So, and then you start checking the shipping manifest, and you see out of the 12 million or so people that left this country, that left the continent of Africa, only was it 1,500 a year made it over here? And that's when they say over here, they mean the Caribbean as well. Most of them ended right over there in Brazil. So the more you dig, the less Africa you start to see. And there's a guy, I forgot his name. One of my TikTok guys sent me his name, but he's the one responsible pushing the out Africa theory. And as I read Booker T. Washington's book, he said he don't think it's a point going back to Africa, going to Africa in general. And also shout out to the librarians we were kind of digging through. And Sister Brooke, that's what I'm thinking about. Sister Brooke, she posted an article on her page about our ancestors, A. Philip Randolph, W. Du Bois, basically all the intellectual thought leaders in the 1920s referred to Pan-Africanism as a scam and Marcus Garvey as a beggar. So we were never with the African movement, ever. It didn't get popular until the 60s and 70s. But even then, though, they should have been pushed back on it because we had the Black Liberation Movement. But I'll land right there. But shout out to Jay, though. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Again, thank you to Sister Brooke, Daniel, Twin came through. Everybody that came in and spoke on us live, man. Conversation that me and Jay having is a good one. We want to start doing this more. And make sure too, man, everybody that's in the chat, I think we got everybody that's on YouTube, I think we got, let me see how many people we got in here, just real quick. 126 of y'all in here, about maybe 20, 30 y'all on the Twitter, man. I appreciate all y'all being here. Make sure y'all show love, man. Support Jay, the bottom right. You can support Jay, you can support me. Support through the super chat, man, if y'all enjoying the live. We want to start doing this more. This is the second episode that we've done. The first one is on my page. And I'll make sure I keep putting Jay's channel in the comments as well. He'll have it on his page as well. So, like I said, make sure y'all just, y'all coming through and supporting, and make sure y'all subscribing and liking the content, because we're going to make sure we can continue to do this for y'all. Let's read a couple of these comments. And again, man, I really want to appreciate Daniel. And I'll see somebody down there I ain't seen in a while, man. We are not the same. Shout out to you, too. I appreciate you coming through to the live, fam. Read a couple of these comments. Very informative. Thank you. I worked at so many Indian casinos in multiple states. Tribes get so much free government paid stuff. Yeah. And that's how you keep people poor, I will say, too. That's why they have the lowest, I think they have the lowest educational attainment, and they have the lowest income, because they rely on so much. But it's just like, they ain't like they living under a box. Them people living good because they got so much free shit. So, and like I said, they got them casinos, all them sovereign lands and them untouchable lands and all that bullshit and all that BS. We don't got none of that. 0 synagogues are being burnt down. 0 mosques. 0 Catholic churches. 0 gay churches. The bias, hypocrisy, hatred, jealousy is out of this world. Natives used to help catch us. Well, I never knew that. Go ahead, Jay.
Well, can I say something, bro?
Hell yeah. You the host, nigga.
I want to say this about you talking about with the lands and the free stuff, because there was I don't know if you follow it's a guy, he's a YouTuber, but what he does is he goes around to like hoods and try to make money off the black gang members. And then he did it with like YBC Duel, and like he came down here before he went to Cherry Hill. But the last video that he did, he went to New Jersey, and it was with the people, I don't know if we can name them, with them the people with the hat people, yeah, they got hats and shit. Yeah, those people, he went to their it's not out what there's the community, but basically they are the biggest perpetuators of welfare fraud in the country. So what they do is they'll have like all of them, they'll come over from European countries, they'll live in one house, and then the men don't work, and the women basically do like nonprofit stuff around like the local area, and they get all kind of food stamps, government assistance, they get all kind of free housing, and they was even reports saying that like when the Iranians went against the Israelis, some of them were going and burning their own houses down for the insurance money. So I want to put that out there, like this, the corruption that comes from all of those other groups, especially when we look at us and Black Americans, it's nowhere comparable. There's no big group or population of Black males that don't work at all, and all the women are on welfare and they just live free. That just doesn't exist. But it's a lot of the narratives that want to come out, but to what you said, like about the natives, they do that, and they're against Black Americans as well as those other people, and they get all the benefits and the luxuries of living in America.
Jay, why you asking me? Can you talk like you ain't the host, nigga?
Shout out to Jay.
Shout out my motherfucking brother Jay. Remember 5 native. I think I just should start reading your names too. Brittany says they have multiple reservations in Mississippi for the Native Americans. Lakeisha Holland says, remember 5 Native Americans enslaved our ancestors: Cherokee, Chickasaw, Creek, Muskogee, and Seminole.
Wait, you delayed, bro. What you say? You said I talk like I'm not the host. What?
No, nigga, you delayed. I said you delayed as hell.
Nah, I shouldn't be. I'm trying to keep my levels right. So
no, I said
they
why
can
you?
hear how
I
good
said
my
why
voice
you
sound on YouTube when this shit all over. Okay, whoever hating, you just gotta stop hating, bro.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I said you asking me if you can speak like you not also the host. That's what I was saying. Nigga, you the host. I'm like, you ain't gotta ask me to speak. Nigga, we both the host. Shout out to my dog Jay, man. Just respect, you know what I'm saying? James Fortin, a meeting between 3,000 free blacks in Philadelphia in 1817. Shout out to Michael Ruiz. Michael Ruiz always coming in with some philosophical, historical, intellectual shit, man. Shout out to Michael Ruiz. James Fortin hosted a meeting between 3,000 free blacks in Philadelphia in 1817 in Richard Allen's church to discuss the American colonization project. All of them voted no, capital N-O. The Trail of Tears. Please read about it. Black Elk Speaks by John Nehart. Hey, it's some real game in this chat, y'all. If you listening on YouTube.
Now, Trail of Tears was a brutal journey, man.
And what was
it just shows you the people are saved. You said what now?
I was gonna say, was it 3,000 to 5,000 that got killed? I could be wrong.
Something like that. So it's the numbers are untold. So the United States government was like, all right, you got to move this land and get you out to these reservations up in Montana and shit like that, right? So No, they made a lot of march, and so as they march, they're like, "Oh, you guys are cool. Here goes some blankets," and those blankets were infested with smallpox. So they documented. They gave them the blankets, sat back and watched to see how long it took most of them to die,
Wow.
and they documented that. So they were running, even back then, they were running like bio experiments on people back then. That's why the Trail of Tears. So even now, I grew up in Arkansas. You have motorcyclists who would drive the whole Trail of Tears on motorcycles in remembrance to what the United States government did to their people. It's crazy.
Man. One thing I'll say
I'm
about
gonna talk
having
about
these,
that on stream.
yeah, man. One thing I'll say about having these conversations, man, is it's good to learn so much. Like we got some real people in here that'll give some real game and some knowledge. So I love it, like the fact that we can have this conversation, and it's like I want everybody to, on my YouTube. I love like y'all can come to my channel and get some entertainment, get some laughs, dating, relationships, but you also get to learn about your history, and you get to, especially if you on a conservative side like myself, you could be on the conservative side, but not be around that lapdog Anton Daniels of the world type of nigga, Hodge twins type of nigga, them type of guys. Like, I love that my channel is so versatile, and I want everybody to go subscribe to my guy Jay. I want everybody to go subscribe to my guy Daniel. Please hit them emails, that link right there. You know what I'm saying? And go send them emails out. You know what I'm saying? Because they helping this conversation, helping us live, and this is, somebody said it earlier. I guess we part of the new black media now. And I think, I have an obligation as somebody who's, I always tell y'all, I'm not no leader. I'm not no martyr. I'm not trying to be no, Black American spokesperson. I say all the time, I speak for Ant only. I do not speak for nobody else but myself. I don't speak for Daniel. I don't speak for Jay. I don't speak for nobody listening to this live. I don't give a damn what your lineage is. I don't speak for you. I speak for myself. But it's my responsibility. I feel like it's my obligation, and I have no problem doing it, was using my platform for, so other people can eat off of as well, So I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep that link there, but I'm going to put Jay's, I'm going to keep switching these pins. Make sure y'all copy paste in that link, or at least click the link now so y'all can have that. So I ain't got to keep going back. Click that link. So if y'all want to send those emails, that y'all can click the link so y'all can at least have it in y'all's, if you're an iPhone or Android, whatever, I don't know how Androids work, but it'll pull the link up on your phone in the background, so you can always go back to it when you go back to Google or whatever it is. Let me find here go Daniel's YouTube right there, the foundation report. That's Daniel's YouTube right there. Everybody go subscribe to Daniel's YouTube, and I think we're gonna put Jay's back up there. But right there, foundational report. That's my guy Daniel, brother Daniel. A lot of y'all know from TikTok, debating these goofies. He be cooking. He don't be playing. My guy Daniel. Y'all go ahead and subscribe to my dog. What's Daniel's channel? Already subbed to Jay right there. Foundational report. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And just so y'all know, again, these people I've been knowing for years. I've been knowing Daniel and Jay since 2021. So just letting y'all know, we how this get down is. You feel me? These ain't no new people. We ain't new to this. None of us are new to this shit. Some of y'all may be new to us, but none of us are new to this shit. Me, Daniel, and Jay, although we ain't been in the same, areas the whole time, but we've been having these conversations for years. Dan, you want to ask something?
No, I was about to say, yo, and CEO has been cooking since I met the bro. Like when I first met him, I was like, yo, this dude is sharp. When I first met him, I thought he was 10 years older than what he was. Keep it gangster with y'all. And then when he told me, hey, Jay, you remember? Like there's like, nah, his early 20s. Like,
I was 24, bro. I think I was 24 back then. I wasn't even in Texas yet. I was in Chicago.
Me and Greg didn't believe you.
I was either 23 or 24.
Yeah, you was in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Greg didn't believe you. We like, nah, that man is older than that, bro. So, I just said, bro, like, I was so, man, I can't tell you how proud and happy I am for Ant CEO, bro. So when I tell niggas Ant the future, that ain't something Ant said. That's something I said. But, when I tell me and Greg saw that back then, this boy was going to be big. Because this dude, he's consistent, he's smart, he's well-researched and stuff, and he don't get into the bullshit. So anytime you got somebody that's focused like that, success is the only thing that can come from it. That's how I knew Sister Brooke was going to be successful with these emails. Yeah, when you got these people who are determined and on their purpose and disciplined, see, discipline is the main thing that men's supposed to have. As a matter of fact, since my nigga Jay back in the fall, I think we're going to bring Brotherhood Wednesdays back and talk about some men topics. But that being said, yo, y'all be sure to hit Ant Cash App, support this brother. And he banned me from sending him shit on Cash App, so I'm gonna respect it because I didn't ban a couple people.
And, and let me.
I didn't ban people for sending me shit too. But no, that being said, bro, like, nah, bro, I'm telling y'all, bro, when I tell y'all Ant is like the most supportive type of person there is. When I told homie I was in Hidden Colors, he was so happy for me. Then he called me and told me he was in Hidden Colors. I was happy for him. That's just proof we can all win together, man. You got to support your bros, man. But yeah, fully support Ant CEO. Y'all be sure to post it, share this conversation. If you agree, you disagree, come up, talk to him. But be respectful to him. He'll be respectful to you, man. And that's my word on that. So appreciate it, homie.
Man, you know that. You know that. Yeah, first time I met Daniel, he swung on me, y'all. But yeah, my nigga Jay, no, just I'm just talking shit. My nigga Jay, for everybody that want to donate to the live, man, my channel would not be what it is. I wouldn't have y'all in here if it wasn't for my guy Jay. I just want to let everybody know that. Again, a lot of y'all don't know Jay. You know, he ain't really been on the social media vibe until really here recently, but none of this shit could exist. I would have probably been driving trucks or something. You know what I'm saying? Not that there's anything wrong with that shit. I actually like when I was driving trucks, but my dog Jay, man, go support his Cash App. Please go support his. Go support my guy Cash App. Go subscribe to his channel. I'm gonna put his channel. I'm gonna leave Daniel's channel up there for another few minutes, and we can put Jay's channel back up there too. Go support my guy, man. These conversations are not able to be had. My channel wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my guy Jay. So we started off together, us three up here. We weren't all in the same, area at the same time, but we all was doing this for a while. Like I said, we've been doing this shit since 2021. A lot of people new to my channel. A lot of y'all new to my content just because I kind of a year ago at this time, and I didn't have over 2,000 subscribers. Now we had almost 32,000. I'm getting millions of views all over TikTok, all over YouTube, and I'm humble about the shit, and it ain't gonna stop. I'm still gonna have the same conversations, and I'm a part of y'all. I ain't no different from none of y'all. You feel me? I'm a young man from Cleveland. You feel me? That's just having these conversations and talking about shit that I care about. So y'all go subscribe to Daniel shit and go support Jay's Cash App. And yeah, then I'm gonna have to block Daniel on Cash App because he keeps sending me money. I gotta block that nigga.
At FBA_Empress super
Shout out to
chatted
Empress.
$10. Happy
Nah,
Sunday,
don't do that. Don't do that.
Heart
I
hands
support.
emoji.
Yeah, but shout out to homie Jay though, man. Wise brother there. Shout out to Jay. Sharp brother. But yeah, I do gotta run though. I am about to go start me a little TikTok live. So thank you for hanging out with me, Ant.
You know that.
It's probably be a music live, so I ain't really doing shit, not too serious. Shout out to Sister Brooke. I'll be sure to send those emails. Thanks a lot for everybody. Yo, Ant, I done got 25 subs from your chat, so shout out to y'all.
Hey man, that's the whole
you can go
point.
ahead and throw Jay up there, man. Appreciate it, homie. Yeah, I clickbaited, used Ant CEO name in one of my titles. Fuck it. I'm a YouTuber now.
Go ahead. I don't give a damn. Do your thing, my nigga.
I said library calling show featuring Ant CEO. But all right, y'all take it easy.
Daniel, I want to say this before you go. So, man, Twitter was
a different world back
3-4 years ago. It was a strange place, man. Like we had a lot more people on there. We had space rivalries. It was just there's a lot of people trying to get on. Like they weren't doing this for the right reasons. Me and Ant though, we always been here doing this. Trying to give something to people and package it in a way that it's digestible for all age groups. We're not, and a lot of these people they took this platform and wanted to make it about other things than actually, organizing and really putting the community in the best light. But Daniel here, man, oh man, when I first got on here, he I want to just say he was nothing short of a menace. He changed his ways. He got saved by the Twitter gods. Now he's a different guy now. So I shout out to him. Shout out to his channel. Everything that he stands for. Cause we all came a long way, man. If y'all know, y'all know. This is old to us and new to y'all. So for
This
everybody
dude,
still
Jay, you so
listening,
full of shit. We wasn't even talking about that.
Didn't I tell y'all Daniel swung on niggas? I told y'all he swung on niggas, man. He's a menace. He's swinging on niggas.
For real.
No, look. I ain't gonna lie. I came on this app. Well, I've been at my Twitter since 09, bro. Y'all don't understand. Like, look at my Twitter. This is at 09. I was on here. So basically, I made my Twitter I'm a nerd. I research a lot of shit. And my history teacher, who was in his 80s at the time, told me, well, you want the best way to find information, go to Twitter because you get real live updates. I started on Twitter just following reports and news channels to see what was going on in real time because that's how the information just get out. Long story short, it turned into like Slaughterfest in like 2012, 11. And I ain't never been the type of nigga to duck no smoke. So it was what it was. So I was always thugging. Then, don't get me wrong, I had the intellectual side, but I also got my troll side. Y'all see, I still do it. If y'all on TikTok, y'all see my high heel disc I dropped on a nigga. Like, the thing is, I've never stopped being that person. I just rather not go there. And I only go there when I absolutely have to. And to tell you, when this conversation of reparations and delineation first popped off, I was telling people how to find their genealogy without having to spend all that money. Just go to the courthouse where your grandma was born, look at the records. Right? It's simple. You send a FOIA request. It's real. We was telling people how to get on. I was telling people how to fix their credit. But like Jay said, this space shit turned into something else. And I'm not one of those people that can just walk away from a threat. I don't know why. I don't know what that is about me, man. One day I'll get over it, but sometimes I feed into BS. But that being said, you remember that we ain't gonna say homie name. But niggas on here wilding with these weird diaspora wars. And I was like, you know what? I took 2 years from the conversation and came back to the conversation because there was so much misinformation. So we had to clean a lot of that up. So I want to give a huge shout out to NCEO for cleaning up a lot of the misinformation. So did Jack. We used to clean up misinformation. Y'all understand, right now, everybody's using the same talking points, but they got talking points from us. And I used to say me because he was a part of that too. So all of this stuff you hear people saying, like, oh, I'll give you one. When I say, when I was debating this Haitian guy on it, I said, look, bro, anybody from your home country when it's spelling bee, they gonna think Haiti, right? That talking point came from me. And CEO came up with a rhetorical question. See, like we got a bunch, and I don't even want to say it because I don't want people to think that we bragging or nothing.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of misinformation and bullshit we had to clean up on our side of the street. Before everybody you see started to fall in line and started doing their own research, we was reading books and shit like that, getting everything in line for people. So shout out to this. So it's just good to see, everything come full circle. So, but yeah, but make no mistake about it, I will roast the fuck out of somebody in a heartbeat. I've never denied that, but I don't want no menace, Jay. I mean, I responded appropriately most of the time.
Yeah, man. Like everything he's saying is
but I hate
like,
you know that about me though.
everything he's saying is all fact check. You know what I'm saying? Again, for all the people listening, we don't want to make this give us our flowers. It's not what we're trying to do. But I really don't think people realize that we've been knowing each other for years. I've been doing it since 2021. I didn't start posting on YouTube till a year ago. A lot of people think I'm new to this. A lot of people think I just jumped on ship. Oh, he went from relationships to talking about FBA. No, nigga. I was in those spaces. I got the screenshot right here that I'm going to put on screen. Matter of fact, let me put that on the screen so the people on YouTube can see it. Because people don't think that, like, they think we just popped up out of nowhere. They think Ant just came out of nowhere. This nigga just hopping on a wave, man. We talking about relationships and women. Now this nigga want to be a pro-black. This nigga think he FBA. And no, wrong. As y'all can see, is that the right one? No, that ain't the right one. But yeah, I don't want to make it like a give us our flowers. That's not what I'm asking for. But I really don't think people realize that we've been doing this for a very long time. Before it was cool, where everybody can make a video titled at FBA and then it's gonna get 2,000-3,000 views and you can have 150 subscribers. Like, no, we was doing this well before it was cool, when it was taboo, when the Pan-Africanism was the main thing everybody was doing. We was one of the few first people that was on this type of wave, and we started the conversation. A lot of these talking points, like Daniel said, came from not specifically us only. It was other people in these spaces as well, but it's like we was having these conversations. We was going viral well before a lot of these people were, and we wasn't doing it for no motherfucking money either. Because we was having 6-7 hour spaces. We didn't care about no money. We wasn't asking for no damn donations. It wasn't about the money. It was about not only educating ourselves, but educating our people and us being younger. I'm 28, Jay 25. You know what I'm saying? Daniel 31, 32, I think. So we still relatively young. We not no little kids, you know what I'm saying? But we also not like in our 40s and 50s where most people.
I'm 34. I'm old, big dog.
34. So I still think that's young. But I want people to understand that, who you listening to. Just because you new here don't mean we new here. That's all. And we appreciate everybody that's here at the end of the day. And shit, if you is new, it ain't no issue. We still love you. But yeah, man. That's it. I'll shut up.
See what you started there in the comments saying, "Damn, Daniel, see, and come on, and you can't be." Telling
See, I don't be knowing, man. They don't know the real Daniel.
Can't be telling on me. These people don't know me.
And
Hey,
you
I ain't
was
gonna lie, it was so
spunking
crazy.
people out,
They
man.
found out quick over on TikTok, did they?
Oh no, for real, definitely.
They tried to bully me on TikTok, boy. Mistake.
It ain't gonna work. Why y'all think everybody's
I'm
so
done.
on point, man? We on point because we've been doing it for a long time. But that's it, though, man. Shout out to my goddamn, man. Y'all go subscribe at the bottom.
We appreciate it, y'all. Though. I'm gonna get on out of here, though, man. Shout out to NCEO. Shout out to the homie Jay. Shout out to Brooke. Shout out to everybody in the audience. I see you down there, Samantha the shot. But look, I'm promising to tell you, y'all in good hands. You know, ask the brother questioning. If he don't know the answer, I guarantee he gonna research it. He ain't gonna just tell you something. You know, he gonna get to the bottom of it though. But all right, y'all peace out. Catch up with y'all later.
Much love, brother. Do your thing. Shout out to Daniel, man. Somebody in the chat, a Ghanaian here respectfully ready for any smoke. Sure. Come on Twitter, request up. As you said you ready for smoke. I mean, I don't know what you mean by ready for smoke, but if you would like to have a conversation, hey man, come to Twitter, and request up, and you know, let's do it. Anything you want to add on there, Jay?
Yo, so somebody said they try to troll in the comments.
I don't know if he trolling. He might be. He said, a Ghanaian here respectfully ready for any smoke. His name is Ibrahim Abdulaziz. I don't know how to say this nigga name.
Yeah, we can't say that, but he can come up.
Yeah, come on Twitter.
Let's have a conversation. But yeah, Daniel, he gone, but I know he gonna listen back to this. But yeah, man, when I say nothing short of a menace, I mean that. Well, not. I mean it jokingly.
Yeah.
Because everybody was at some point. I mean, Twitter was a crazy place.
Yeah, man.
About 4 or 5 years ago. So, but shout out to everybody that's in here. Shout out to everybody that's on YouTube. Me and my big bro, we locked in now. So. This is what we gonna do. We're gonna try to give y'all the best content y'all seen and as versatile as it can be. Because you know, too much of a good thing is a bad thing. One thing about like doing this and dealing with the politics, at least from what I got when I was a kid, it seemed like church. Oh, you know, we gotta get the Democrats and let's go here. And, you know, it's real long and drawn out. People want to be engaged. People want to see what relates to them. People want to see what uh you know that transcends just the conversation. Okay, in my real world, I can actually do this. I can practically put this stuff into my life, implement it, and then once it's there, you know, somebody just gave me a brand new perspective. It showed me how to do this better. I remember when we used to have people say, "Oh, thank you, Aunt and Jay. Y'all got me having better conversations with my son."
Right.
You know, because he, you know, we was, I think that's when we was talking about the parenting, right?
That was OG
And
with the firearms. That was OG. Remember OG? I forgot his name. He used to always be in here talk about his kids. He used to be he was ex-military. I don't know if you remember his name. I'm sure I still got him. I think Jay
right,
Michael.
all we would do is, I mean, and we kept it in a way that you know the formula would always build on top of each other, and if we
Yeah.
couldn't build, we gonna find common ground and then come back to it later. I mean, we had rivals coming in here. We would have debates like I'm talking about thousands and thousands of people in this room.
Yeah.
And we would got he shout out to he said her name earlier where he got his she was doing political training. Remember her name? Cuz Tariq was shouting her out. I forgot her name.
Political training. Who the Daniel said it before?
Yeah. He said her name earlier.
Sonny?
No, not Sonny.
Sonny
Not
Johnson?
but no, I think yeah, it might have been Sonny. It's
Maybe.
two
I'm
Sonnys,
not
the other Sonny.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
If I hear her name, I probably know though.
But yeah. I mean, she gave me a lot of game too. It's a lot of books that we read. We've also had spaces on just everything. You know, we don't want to keep it one way, but we definitely want to go ahead and build on top of each other and see what, give out as much as we can to help the people that surround us in our age range and even older. But who did the guy ever show up, bro? Or he ducking the smoke?
I guess he gonna possibly come to Twitter. I told him to come to Twitter. He didn't say nothing else in the chat, but he know he can come to Twitter if he want to do it. And we listening. We ready for whatever. We've been doing this for a while, so hopefully we keep prepared because we is.
Nah, for real. And look, if we not no echo chamber, if you got anything you disagree with,
Yep.
you more than welcome to speak. I mean, you a grown man. I mean, we don't have anything where we only let up certain people or only want to hear ourselves just ramble all night. So if you definitely got a disagreement, you more than welcome to speak.
If anybody was curious as well, shout out to my guy Jay, man. As you can see on screen, these are spaces that me and Jay ran, and you can see the dates on here, and this is stemming back from 2022. We got stuff from 2021 as well, but this is a space, like the space history, and this was like sometimes, a lot of the times we didn't even record our spaces, but you can see these conversations have been the same. July 14th, 2022, for anybody that's, that, again, we've been doing this for a while, is immigration destroying Black America. July 17th. And you see that, I want y'all to look at the times too. 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, 4 hours, an hour, 2 hours, 9 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours. These are conversations that were being had for hours. And there wasn't no money involved with none of this shit, nor was we asking for no damn money. This was before we had platforms. You know what I'm saying? And these are me and Jay's conversations. So, and this is with thousands of people watching. Sometimes it would be maybe 50, sometimes it was 100, but sometimes we have spaces where, it's thousands of people in there because they really, really intrigued on these conversations, so I just want people to know, like, like kind of, where it started at and, where it's at now and what we still trying to do. Here's another one right here. And yeah, like I said, pay attention to the times, and this is just the stuff that's recorded. And if you on Twitter, you can't see it, but if you on YouTube, you can see it. And make sure y'all hit Jay's YouTube as well, so hit that subscribe button. But yeah, man, as you can see here, you can see the times, and you see these titles of these conversations have been the same. Stemming from relationships and a little bit of boxing in there, but that's just on a fun day. But it's been the same thing, relationships and, speaking about things from a Black American perspective. So if anybody was curious about who we are and what we doing, and NCO hopped on the wave and this nigga grifting, nigga, I ain't got to grift on nothing, nigga. I've been out here getting to it. But this is what I call dedication. Yeah, damn, y'all ain't new to this. Y'all true to this. I be trying to tell people this is all documented history, and this is in 2022. We ain't even talk about the stuff from 2021. You know what I mean? So it's just to, again, not to beat on our own chest, but just for people to understand that people genuinely believe that we, niggas just woke up one day and started talking about this shit. Like, no, you are insane and don't know what the hell you talking about. But it's cool. That's why you got them receipts to let a motherfucker know what's going on. We been stepping on this shit. Let me stop cussing. But yeah. Let's read some more of these comments. Goddamn, y'all was on Twitter like a job. Hey, man. You know what I'm saying? For real. Nigga, I used to be riding around and DoorDashing, doing Twitter DoorDashing. Jay, remember them days? I think we was both doing that. I used to be hosting spaces DoorDashing. I'm driving around 6-7 hours all throughout Chicago, all through the South Side, all through out West, all through up there in Evanston, down the Gold Coast, down the River North, all the way down to the Hunnits, to the Auburn and Gresham. I'm talking about on live.
Nah, for real.
All through the city in Chicago, man. Like, this ain't no joke over here, man. Empress, I'm on both Twitter and YouTube with y'all. Thank you. Oh, somebody sent the dono. Matter of fact, Tyra, thank you for the $10. Jay, make sure you check in your CA if anybody sent something. Tyra, thank you for the $10 dono. Check your CA, Jay. Make sure if anybody sent anything.
I think I heard you, bro. Yeah. I'm about to go ahead and check that, but
yeah.
But yeah, nah, this is not like anything, and we train a lot of this on our own. A lot of people didn't want to hear nothing that we had to say at first.
Before
They
it was
wanted to
cool.
call us grifters. They wanted to say, "Oh, who do y'all think y'all is to change people's minds and stuff?" Like, we never tried to change nobody's mind.
Right.
We just offer perspective. You can listen or not, like, but it's like every other channel you see. And then when we kind of, the split happened was, Ant kind of went bigger on social media. I went to radio. You know, if
Right.
any one of y'all listen to 88.9 FM, um, you know, that's where I was. If you look at any of my YouTube stuff, I really got on air, and this is what I did for the last 2 years. And then I kind of just, you know, bounced around it. But nah, like I've really been true to this. You know, y'all might see me on, you know, on the big screen one day. You might see Ann on the big screen one day. You never know where things come, like how things can end up. You know, you started on Twitter and then you branch out. And then once you branch out, you become something that's actually a household name. And it's all because you believe in what you say, you stand true to your word. And from, you know, I know, and I can vouch for him for days. Like, ain't no stain on him on his record. And ain't nothing on my record either. It's a lot of people, if y'all was in these Twitter streets, I'm telling you, y'all know, like, real world things have happened off of trying to do this kind of stuff that we're doing.
Niggas be
So we just
pinging
want to let
me.
everybody you know, just know that we really going we here for the long haul. We now we locked in. We gonna give y'all the best content that y'all you know, all been waiting for. But anything, I'm still reading the comments, bro. I see some people say Brittany, she said we destined for greatness.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I think that's your moderator down there.
Oh,
Said, what's the
Bryce,
name
what's
of
the name
Jay's
of Jay's
channel?
channel? The link ain't working. It should be working. It's a J Iconic.
Phone.
It should be working though.
Yeah, just
That's the
yeah,
link right
Jay
there.
Iconic.
This is what I have on screen too. Y'all see the this is one of these conversations. Some of y'all probably know these people. You know, you see Check, Paris, Sonny, Mel, the Security Tribe people. You know, and that's, you see who the host is. And that's from years ago. Again, I'm not trying to make it a look what we did type of thing, but I really want people to understand who they talking to. And sometimes you got to do that because people are really, you know, run with a narrative. And somebody said, hey, well, at least, this is my guy, Michael, at least no one can say that you wrote a waiver or anything. Now, that's what I call kicking ass and taking names, literally. That's probably the most, I ain't gonna say it's frustrating because it's the internet. People gonna say what they're gonna say. Here's a better one right here. At the top, you can see January 2nd, 2022, which means this was 2 days after the new year, meaning these conversations were already being had well before 2022. You know what I'm saying? So, back in 2021. So, like, yeah, I mean, and I think I wouldn't say it's frustrating, but it's like, damn, like, these niggas really don't know me. They really think I just randomly started posting YouTube videos. Like, they think I just hopped on some motherfucking wave and I'm just some random nigga out of the blue. No, you knew here. You know, but, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, that's how the internet work. People gonna think how they gonna think. And, you know, I just got the receipts to prove otherwise. That link should be working on. Let me click it and see what it take me. Yeah, it took me right to his channel. So I don't know why the link not working. I just clicked it. It took me right to his channel.
Hey, bro.
What
I
up?
think that troll that was in the comments, he not gonna show up. So let
Probably
me
not.
ask y'all, you know, family, how y'all feel about this Nick Cannon situation? You know, Nick Cannon can't stay out of bad publicity, at least for the last couple years. But I think he, in this situation though, he was right. I mean, you know, is the Democratic Party is the party of the KKK. If you don't believe that, then I mean, I don't think you really have a good understanding of history. It was founded in Massachusetts or Boston, I believe. I think that's one of the two most prominent places that it was in. Those are Democratic cities. And then once it was there, all of the, you know, those Jim Crow laws and everything, and most of that stuff happened up north and then in the South too. But you could see it up here. They would walk the streets. They would make sure that you know, went home. And I think that what the media doesn't like to hear is that when you attach this to the Democratic Party, they want to run away from the history that they promoted, you know, to against Black Americans. And I just think that, you know, Nick Cannon doesn't do a lot of things, in my opinion, that I, you know, right or how I would do it. But I think just for that comment alone, I think he's definitely, you know, on the right track when it comes to, you know, what party, you know, they represent. How you feel about that, Ant?
I think everything you said was a good point. The only thing I don't want to happen, because this is what happens with a lot of celebrities, right? They start to say, okay, well, I can't do one side, then I need to do the other side. And that's what I don't want. So, okay, he said the Democrats are the KKK and he bashed Democrats. Cool. Does that mean now you should be a Republican and support the Republicans? You know what I mean? Like that's what you don't want. And you see that with a lot of these, with a lot of these celebrities, and I think it's because celebrities live a different life. They're not having these conversations. They're not even listening into this stuff. And if they do listen, they listen in, by proxy or from a distance. They may see something and keep it pushing because they live in a totally different life. So that's what I don't want, because I think us as Black Americans in general, I think being a part of any political side, regardless of what your viewpoints may be on things specifically, being a part of a specific political side is a problem, in my personal opinion. I think you cooning if you're a Republican or a Democrat. Me personally, because I just don't I don't see, because you got the elitist Black people. You got the elitist. So you see the Democratic elitists when it comes to the HBCUs, right? They go to these HBCUs, they be a part of these frats and sororities, and they become the elitist Blacks, where they feel like they are the different. I'm Black, but like I'm a part of this type of Black, where I'm only gonna support people who went to my school, or only support other Black people who are part of my frat or my sorority. When it becomes that elitist mindset, and they usually be attached to the Democrats, and then you see the other side of it, someone who just may became successful, and they get a white man or a white woman, or they get into these little enclaves of Black people who are established, and they, I'm gonna go be a Republican because I'm different. I live in a white neighborhood, and my neighbors are white, and I'm pro-Trump, and it's like you doing that out of spite to be the different Black person. You know what I mean? So I think these two sides of the same coin. That's what you don't want from people like Nick Cannon, because he has a platform, and I don't know why anybody would be listening to Nick Cannon for political advice or political affiliation, or who they should do with who they should vote for, who they should connect to. But I mean, shit, some people will. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, no, I don't. I never was the kind of person to say, support this candidate or do this for this reason.
Right.
Because that will make you a spokesperson. I wouldn't do
Right.
that. What I just for specifically for this comment that was said by Nick Cannon, I think he's on the right track. And like you said, you don't want him to say one thing and then switch it up and have a different narrative next week when he gets a little bit of pushback from the people that's in power. But at this time, I mean, they really can't. If you watching really what happens, the Democrats can't really run away from their history anymore. When this instance, when we talking about with the Democratic Party and the KKK, that's true. When they talk about things that happen, when they go say, well, Obama bombed the most places in the Middle East, that's also true. When they say that inflation was up and things were up and school funding was less under Biden, that's also true. They can't run away from their history. They can hate Trump as much as they want to, but if you really look at the history and it's a 1-to-1, it's nothing that they can do at that point, but just accept it. I think that more celebrities though should speak out, because I know the family know a lot of our Black celebrities have been compromised. They go to Hollywood, they had these deals, and
Yep.
once they get in Hollywood, they really got duct tape on their mouth. They can't say what they want to say or do what they want to do at anymore. And that, like I said, Nick Cannon is probably the right messenger. I mean the right message with the wrong messenger, but it's still something that I think that more celebrities should be out saying, like, hey, well, yeah, Hollywood is overwhelmingly liberal. Yes, it is. That, yeah, the Democratic Party should do this. Now, another actor, since we talking about the topic, um, Mark Ruffalo, I don't want to. I think I might be mispronouncing his name, but the guy who played Hulk in Avengers,
Mm-hmm.
he's been very vocal about like anti-Trump, anti-war in the Middle
Middle East.
East, and how we need to get people out of office. But I would put that more in a performative sense, because it's not like he gonna turn down another movie if Disney call him, because Disney is bought and owned by those people, and they support them wholeheartedly. Why would you? I mean, yeah, you can tell me about how bad Trump is and everything like that, but you got to put action behind it. Now Nick Cannon, back bringing it back to him, he definitely did had to go back with them people when he first said something like what 2-3 years ago on his podcast,
Yeah,
bro.
with them J people.
Yeah, he had to eat a lot of humble pie on that, but I still think that there needs to be more black celebrities that really have a firm stance on how we align politically and the things that have happened to us in this country. It's a Mark Ruffalo is hella performative. He's always crying about Trump at award shows. Yeah, but he still goes to them. So what's the point of going to the award show just to make that statement? Dog, you could have stayed home. You could have written a letter or something. What do you higher up strips away the elite speech? Yeah, yeah.
and
The family know what's going on.
and add on to that, it's a problem too because a lot of, like you said, a lot of celebrities in general are compromised regardless of what their race is. But when it comes to Black Americans, they compromise because all they're gonna do is give them a couple dollars and they're gonna twerk at the Kamala Harris rally. Like they'll do anything for a couple dollars. I mean, I don't think Beyonce gives a damn about whoever's in office because Beyonce is a billionaire, and it's no diss to Beyonce, right? You know, she's a great musical icon, but Beyonce don't give a fuck who give a f who's in office. Beyonce is a billionaire. Beyonce, how much did they give? Didn't they give her $40 million to perform or whatever she did, or $40 million to do something? They gave her like $40 million. The Kamala Harris her team, the organization, they gave her like $40 million. The Democrats, and then they spend what? How much did they spend as far as just sending money for propaganda and shout outs and having Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion and Beyonce and so you saw Hillary do it with LeBron. Like, that's the problem because money takes over, and it's also an issue too because it's like, okay, when they do get in prominent positions of power, it's like, well, damn, now their family is involved. And I think a lot of stuff that goes on in Hollywood is behind the scenes, and they don't want to get their family touched. And that's kind of like a thing that you kind of compromise with. It's like, all right, you can have this money, you can live this lifestyle, but don't go too far because there can be a bomb that can get detonated somewhere, and just so happen your little 4-year-old ain't here no more. And that's just how I think that's how brutal it is, or some blackmail. We got the video when that Jewish J person man swung that chair around and his balls was hanging down. I know it sound messed up, but it be happening. How much you want to be a star? How bad do you want to be a star? 5 minutes and I'll give you everything you're looking for. And hey, they don't give a damn how big you is, how tall you is, how masculine you is. 5 minutes, let me swing this chair around. You want $20 million? 5 minutes, do what I need you to do, and you can have everything you want. And we're going to have it on camera. So if you ever try to do something, we know what we can do. And we might not even do that. We'll just destroy you in the media. We'll just do you like Michael Jackson. We'll just do you like, even though some of that stuff was on him, but I don't think all of that stuff is true. Like a P. Diddy or an R. Kelly. Like we'll take it to that route. And again, that's not to say that though. I think P. Diddy and R. Kelly was on some weird stuff, but the media does them worse than they do someone like a not Jeffrey Epstein. What's up, boy? Saying Harvey Weinstein. Don't nobody even talk about him no more. He's the reason why the whole Me Too movement even started. But he's a part of them people though. So he's a part of that protected class. I mean, they claim that they're not the same, but he still got the what is it, the complexion for the connection or whatever it is. So, that's a whole nother issue. Somebody said once you get to a certain level, you definitely get a visit from them folks. Oh, facts. Oh, they gonna come. They gonna come. Pause. They're gonna be there, and they're gonna make sure that they let you know about it.
Hey, yo.
Oh, all right. They're gonna make sure they let you know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much money she spent exactly. Kamala blew through over $1 billion on her campaign. Was it over $1 billion? I thought it was maybe like a few $100 million. It was over $1 billion. I'm not surprised if it was. I'm not surprised. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
And let me just add into that.
Yeah.
Like the thing, like you said, like when they say, hey, look, you can get whatever you want for this amount of money, that's a form of buck breaking. Like they try to do it to all the athletes, all the celebrities. They try to, like Kyrie Irving, they really tried to make him the poster child of anti-Semitism. And Kyrie was like, man, look, I'm, he riding around with the Hebrew Israelites and everything. How are you gonna put that on me? But the thing is that they just they needed somebody to be a black face so that they can go ahead and justify doing. Yeah, you're right. It's a modern day version. Yeah, they want so they can go ahead and justify doing, this crazy stuff to people. But you if you don't want to be buck broken, you got to be strong. Okay, and you gotta tell them people no, and no means no. Like you was talking about with them Harvey Weinstein people. I don't know how that kind of stuff happens, all that corruption happens, but it's got to be because you got rich elite people in the right places, and they're using their power to basically coerce people to do things that they otherwise wouldn't do. And you just gotta you gotta be anytime you get into those kind of places, you gotta have a strong will. If you could change political parties, what would you
Can
do?
I answer this
Well, I
first?
don't I don't I mean, well, you wanted to answer that, bro?
Yeah, I wanted to answer that because I don't want to forget it. I'm gonna be quick too. There would not be any political party. The only people that would be there would be no Republican or Democrat. It would be individuals. That's what it would be. After Republicans, after Democrats, it would be individuals, and the people would decide who they wanted to vote for, not based on a political party. It would be based on a specific person and what their specific policies are, and the majority of people in which they agree with or disagree with. It wouldn't be based off no party. There would be no two-party system. There would be none of that. Everything would just be basically independent. But go ahead, Jay. I didn't want to forget it. And I don't even think a lot of people, would even have access to vote. To be honest.
Well, I want to say this to that. If you look in the Constitution, though, the, I don't know like if I 100% agree with this, but there are a lot, what the alt right be saying, like there shouldn't be a two-party system
Yeah.
anyway. Like this is a late invention. Um, because if like the Democrats are the donkey. I mean, no, it's like the donkey and the elephant, and then or it's like switched around, something like that. And it's the GOP, and then it's the Democratic Party. Uh, they were saying that it's not supposed to be like that. Like you're supposed to be a free nation, and a free nation is everything that implies. So the government, you're self-governing. You have your land, your name stake, everything like that. Like it's all there. Now I don't believe all of that, but I'm just saying, like I've heard that kind of stuff being talked about in some of their spaces. Another thing though, like family, that we should start doing is when they're arguing amongst each other, let's not get in the middle of that. Like for especially when this thing like with the Democratic Party and what Nick Cannon said, he's not making them all like all go against each other, but there are rumblings between the two, and if they fighting amongst themselves, let them. Don't get in the middle of that. Don't try to say, oh well, as a black person, I'm going to do this and do this and do that. No, we gotta like they're not going to be America first, like how they should be. We got to be Black American first, though. It does these issues align with our issues, and if they don't align with our issues, then we don't have anything to say about it, and that's just how we gotta keep things moving. Hold up. Some of these say that would be a better approach. I agree. The problem is people's stances are a reflection of the party opposed to what they actually stand
Yep.
on. If you're a Democrat, you have to believe in this, and vice versa if you're a Republican. Yeah,
Yeah.
they like football teams. And I think Dr. John Henry Clark said that. They look at politics as a sports team, and no matter what, you have to go and always agree for your team. And if you don't go for your team, then you're for the other team, and that's not how politics should even work. And I think we're the only country with the two-party system. And another thing, that's a part about imperialism. That's why they have to go and quote unquote restore democracy to the Middle East. They got to come in, destabilize that population, perform either a coup or a regime change. That's really, but all of that is an assassination. They assassinate the leaders that are there, and then put in the figurehead, and then that figurehead ends up running the country and becoming a proxy for America. And they do this over and over and over and over and over again. And that's the way that the United States empire keeps itself going. It says, if a house divided against itself, that house cannot stand. Yeah, yeah. Couldn't have said no better myself.
You
You
see
there,
what?
bro?
Yeah, I'm here. You see what the message you? I sent it to your phone. Oh shit, man. Hey man, I didn't even see this. We not the same, man. Thank you for the $50 donation, man. Shout out to you, man. I don't even think he in here no more. Damn, I hate when people send donations and I don't see it, bro. I hate that shit. That shit pisses me off because they be thinking I'm gonna be in Hollywood and I generally don't even be seeing that shit. Let me send this nigga an invite back to the space, bro. Damn, I hate when that shit happens. And every hold on. How can I invite this nigga? How do I
Shout out to
Yeah, for
Well,
real.
they don't like that name. Let me ask y'all: do y'all like being called aunt? I mean, unc and
Yeah.
auntie
Oh, geez.
by
I know
young
y'all on
people?
the YouTube. That's a great question, Jay. Go ahead. Let's end it off on this comment.
Do y'all like that? Because I be doing it now, just without thinking about it. I just be calling everybody unc now, auntie. That's what I be calling them.
I be saying OG. I be like, man,
Right?
appreciate
I
that
be saying
OG.
OG sometimes.
Yeah.
I be
But
saying
see,
OG if
I
you're a real
only
OG in
yeah, I
Portland.
see. I only say OG if it's somebody that I feel like I respect. If I feel like you a goofy, I'm gonna just call you a old nigga. You know what I'm saying? I always make that distinction: old niggas and OGs. I don't like old niggas, but I always respect and rock with the OGs for sure. Unc used to be an old junkie. I didn't even know that. Did you know that?
I never had nobody say that.
Did not the same send you anything, Jay? Because some people they do it like they send it to both. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
TOCA.
I gotta. You said what, bro?
I was saying that did not the same say anything to TOCA?
Yep. Yeah, I forgot to mention that too,
Yeah,
because I'm
make sure
sorry,
you
I'm looking at this thing.
try to make sure you saying that because people so look. I be forgetting sometimes too, but I always want to make sure like you feel me say thank you and shit because
Yeah.
people be
Shout out to
yeah.
shout out to that $10 donation. You definitely appreciate that.
Hold on.
And let me see this other comment. It say at least where I'm at in Delaware and Philly. Yeah, well, shout out to Delaware, shout out Philly, man. But yeah, I never heard that Unc was like a junkie term.
Yeah, I didn't
I
know
never
that.
heard that.
That may be a regional thing though.
Yeah, I never heard that.
And that might be a regional thing. How many people we got on the YouTube right now? Let me see.
Think about 90, 89, 90, 91.
91. Okay. Why y'all so quiet,
Oh
man?
wow, I thought it mean uncle. Yeah, that's what I did too. Like, cause they call us nephew. So
Why y'all so quiet? We gonna end it, y'all. But I wanted to do this. Me and Jay talked about this earlier. I think we should start doing this on a daily or whenever we do this, a Q&A at the end, just to get the chat flowing and if anybody got any questions or any.
shout out to Dante with the $20 donation. It's much appreciated.
Yeah, if anybody in the chat, man, if y'all what's up, Aram? Anybody in the chat, man, if y'all got any Q&A, any questions, you know what I'm saying? Because me and Jay gonna go ahead and shut it down soon. Please ask, and if y'all
Yeah.
enjoying the live, man, support us. Support the we've been on here for what 4 hours, 3 hours and some change, and we definitely want to keep doing this. We appreciate everybody being here on the Twitter. We appreciate everybody being here on the YouTube, man, and support the content while you here, man. Man, support the content while
Yeah,
y'all here,
definitely
man.
support the content.
Show love, donate,
If
all
y'all
that
like
shit.
any like on air, wait, like sort of like a Breakfast Club thing, go ahead and watch some of my older videos on YouTube just to give you some perspective. We talked a little bit about a lot of the topics from a few years back, but now we're gonna put a lot more of the new stuff up there, and that's gonna be a lot more entertaining and impactful. And we just gonna keep making it bigger and better for y'all. So I can't talk, man, y'all.
And we gonna
Y'all got me scared on the mic.
yeah, I'm gonna leave these. Podcast 1 is still up on my page, and I'm gonna leave this up on my page as well. This is podcast 2. Ant CEO and Jay Iconic. Man, we're gonna keep this going for y'all. But yeah, any questions that y'all got, chat? Whether that's questions, comments, you could say Ant CEO, you a bitch.
Yeah, we call this part of the segment open to you. It's
Yeah,
open to everybody.
yeah, open
Anything
to
that
everybody.
y'all had on your mind. Because sometimes you might get a topic, from the people listening in,
Right.
and that'll have you going for another couple hours. It say, what makes a woman a good woman for marriage?
Cook and clean and shut
And
the
it say
fuck up.
Tata Dior 318. You want to answer that, bro?
Cook, clean, and shut the fuck up. No, on a serious note, I mean, I don't, I don't want to go too deep into it, but what makes a good woman for marriage? I would say, man, you shouldn't even be being a woman's boyfriend or even dealing with a woman unless she do, what you say. A woman that's submissive, a woman that's willing to listen, a woman that's humble, regardless of how attractive she is. She understands that the situation is bigger than her. A woman that's willing to take heed to things that you're saying, and she looks at what you do as not control, but as that you care. She needs to understand male nature. A lot of women don't understand male nature. So I think if a woman understands male nature, to understand we are territorial, to understand that we are leaders and we want our woman to listen. I think that's important. A woman that is willing to defer to you, she respects your leadership. And even when she's angry and upset, she's not going to disrespect you, raise her voice, call you out your name. She's never going to talk about you to her female friends or talk about you to family members or, bring any negativity outside into the relationship. She knows how to act when you're not around. She uses your last name and takes your last name and, holds on that image, to a high standard, right? A woman that's modest, a woman that has good domestic skills. She knows how to cook. She knows how to clean. And a woman that embraces that. It's different between a woman that feels like she has to do it and it's comparative to a woman that wants to do it, right? And I think that's the most important thing. She cherishes having a husband. She understands that it's a rarity, and that's something that she that she holds up to a high regard, right? She cherishes her being a wife. She understands her duty is about being a wife. It's not about how she feels, right? Same way it's not about how you feel as a man. No matter how I feel about it, I'm gonna pay these bills. No matter how I feel about it, I'm gonna make sure the house is protected. No matter how I feel about it, I'm gonna make sure that my woman got what she, everything that she need and most of what she want. And the same mentality should happen on the flip side. She understands her role and she operates in her role with a smile on her face. That's not to say issues ain't gonna happen. Of course, your lady gonna get mad at you. You gonna get mad at your lady, but she doesn't go out of turn of what her duty and her role is in a marriage. So that's what I would say. But I will say that foundation is set off of you as a man. You the leader, which means you're gonna take the majority of the responsibility. You can't claim to be a leader. You can't claim to be the one that's taking charge and taking lead and taking the to their assertive route. And then you expect to not have responsibility, or at least the majority of it. Manhood is based in honor, dignity, and accountability. So you're gonna have the majority of the responsibility on you. So the woman that you choose is a direct correlation and direct reflection of who you are as a man. So it don't start with the woman, it start with you. It's not to take accountability away from her. It is to say that we're men and we leaders, so we hold each other accountable. So, but outside of that, not to keep babbling, but that's what I would say a good woman is. A woman that's marriage worthy. And she keep herself in shape. She look good. You know what I'm saying? My personal opinion.
I want to say something to that. So, what makes a good woman for marriage is a woman that adds to a man's program. You
Facts.
know, the you can't be a good woman for marriage if there's a good man in you're like that you're dating, y'all got a relationship with each other, but you don't add to his program. The what you ask for, you have to be what you're willing to what you're willing to ask for. You have to be what that is yourself. I can't say, okay, I'm a great man in my own opinion. And those kind of conversations, like, well, at least questions that you're asking, kind of only give it like a very narrow minded answer. Oh, she's a good woman if she just does whatever a man says. That's not true. She's a good woman if she just say she want to be married. That's not true either. You got to be what you're looking for. And if you're not that, then there's no reason to even ask the question. A good and then good is also relative. There are no good people, they're just people. So if you want to just if you need somebody to be the person that's going to benefit your program the best, well, you got to go ahead and basically put them to the test. You got to put them in scenarios that require them to do things that's out of the normal. You know, like if her last couple guys or your last couple girls that you dated or whatever, they did certain things, you have to go a different rate in that to have a different relationship. And if you don't do that, it's going to be the same relationship over and over and over and over again. And one thing I hear a lot about women that, you know, that say these kinds of things is that they dating the same guy over and over again. But as a woman, have you changed from the relationships that you've been in? As a man, have you changed from the relationships that you've been in and to be a better asset to somebody else? If you can't answer those questions, then I don't think you should really be worried about, or well, you're not going to get the answers that you want if you can't answer those questions. Would you want to say something, man?
No, I wholeheartedly agree. You know, that's why I said, you know, it starts with you as a man. You the man. You take the majority of the responsibility. So, you know, it's about fixing you first. And I think you made a great point about good. Good is relative. Good is subjective. It depends on who we talking to. You know, so I think that was a great point. I'm gonna read a couple more of these comments and we're gonna knock it out for the day. What's your favorite restaurant if you have one? Smith and Walensky. By far. And I would say that, you know, because I used to live in Chicago and I lived in River North. I lived at Marina City Apartments. And if you don't know what that is, that's in River North and it's downtown. And it's right under that building is Smith and Walensky, is Yoke. It used to be a Dick's, the restaurant Dick's, where they mean to you on purpose. Chicago Hotel and House of Blues. It's all right there in that little area. Tortoise is right there as well. Smith and Walensky is delicious. It's like a fancy restaurant. Good as hell, man. And I love oysters. That's probably my favorite food. A lot of people don't like seafood, but I love oysters. Oysters Rockefeller is probably my favorite food. Outside of I would probably say that's type of food. Food, like food subject or food group, I would say. Or like I guess ethnic food would definitely be either Dominican food. I know that's crazy, but I love Dominican food. And no, nigga, I'm not Dominican. Cause he's them chat trolls. Dominican food and soul food for sure by far. And I like Japanese food a lot too. But restaurants, I would probably say Smith and Walensky, and on some hood pull up type shit. If I'm in Cleveland, Mr. Wonderful's. A lot of y'all don't know who that is. If you're from Cleveland, you know what Mr. Wonderful's is. So I'll probably say that. And Jay, favorite restaurant or whatever, favorite food?
Well, I wouldn't say favorite, but if y'all ever in the DMV, and I don't really, you know, I ain't in DMV, but like I'm in Baltimore, y'all gotta come to hip hop. Y'all gotta go. It's a couple black spots called Taste This. It's it's a lot of different places out here. It's real good food, you know, real good you know, soul food down here. And then if y'all ever like seafood and you in like Maryland, Baltimore, you gotta go to Moe's, get that good seafood. Um, and then tell everybody about it. I want to read one of these comments. It was from FBA Empress. Shout out to her. She say self-love is great, but self-awareness is so much better. Yeah, self-love is great, but self-awareness is
Yep.
sexy. I'm gonna switch that up for you. Self-awareness is so sexy. When you can talk to a woman and she know exactly who she is, what she wants to do, and her way of going about it, she have an active plan, or a man that has a plan, then you in a better environment than somebody who's out here with just anybody doing anything with them. So definitely people that are self-aware, they go a lot farther in life because they can go ahead and actually do what a lot of people can't do, is apologize and say that they are wrong about certain things. So self-awareness is very sexy. You could be too self-aware though, tell me too much how crazy you is, then I might have to go my own way. But hopefully you're not too self-aware and then you be cynical. But just having that though, that is gonna lead you on the right track.
Most
You got something to
definitely.
say, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna read a couple more of these comments. It pretty much ties into what defines insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. That was going off of what Jay was saying. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him the fear of the Lord. Keep asking man, you're gonna get the same answer. Try asking God. Where can you get Dominican food in Chicago? It's a restaurant called Hibaritos y Mas on the north side. Delicious. My parents are Jamaican immigrants who immigrated to Canada back in the 80s. I wanted to know, is there a difference between how African versus Caribbean tethers treat Black Americans, or would you say it's pretty much the same? Okay, well, just because I want you to understand, at least on my channel, I don't know how other people are. I have no negative disposition towards a person because they're African or because they're Caribbean. I have issues with tethers only. And I'm not saying you said that. I want to make that clear. Me, speaking for Ant CEO, myself, I have no issue with a person being African or a person being Caribbean. I only have an issue with someone who is a tether, and a tether is not ethnic group specific. You could be a white tether. Shit, tether is an action. Exactly, Empress. You could be a white tether. You could be an Asian tether. You can be a Latin tether. I don't give a damn what it is. Tether is not specific to African and Caribbean. So I don't want you to think, because you said African versus Caribbean tethers, and I don't want you to think that those things go together, right? I have African and Caribbean friends. Just because you're African and Caribbean doesn't make you a tether. It's an action. Do I think it's different? I mean, I think it's going to depend on who you talk to. I mean, I guess so I can't speak for everybody, right? Because I think it's going to depend on who you talk to. But I would say I noticed that Caribbeans seem like they're more so want to infiltrate. Africans infiltrate in the sense of think they are us, and Africans want to infiltrate more so to think that they're better than us, under the same construct of classifying as us. So that's what I would say as far as tethers. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really think it matters. Disrespect is disrespect. And again, I don't give a damn where you from. Anybody know on my channel, I get on everybody. I get on whites. I get on Black Americans if we on some bullshit. I get on whites. I get on Asians. I get on Latinos. My whole channel is, you would think I hate every damn body. Shit, I don't hate nobody, but I mean, you can't find a specific like ethnic group, or I guess like you can't find a specific group of people that I have not spoken on my channel. You literally can't find it. I literally talk about everybody, including my own. Shit, this is my Foundation Black Americans, and I'd be like, man, this nigga's a goofy. I don't give a damn where you from, and I'm not with the whole Black Americans is perfect and everybody is a bad person. I'm not with the kissing ass and let me just get every Black American to like me. No, I'm gonna call out my own if it need to be called out. I don't give a damn what it is. I'm about right, wrong. I'm not about right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm about right, and I'll support what's right. So that's just me. Shout out to the DMV/Baltimore. I got a ton of family in Maryland/VA. Black is a social construct. It is. Culture is learned, not innate. Yeah, I would say that too. I've been to Smith & Walensky in New York. The food is delicious, especially their dessert wines. I'm not much of a drinker at all. I don't drink, but I'm sure it's good. Tetherism is about behavior. Not all tethers play tetherball the same. Is a 46-year-old woman too old to be dating a 31-year-old man? I mean, can it work? Sure, but is it likely? No, based on natural biological attraction triggers. But can it work? Sure, it can work. Yeah, I mean, you see it. You know, some people make it work. I wouldn't do it, but yeah, some people would do it. I love y'all, but y'all have to stop grouping the DMV. I'm surprised Jay ain't jump out and say this. I love y'all, but y'all have to stop grouping the DMV with Baltimore. Two different places, two different local cultures. We will tell you this ourselves.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was about to say that. I was definitely about to say that. I'm from Baltimore. I'm not from the DMV. So yeah, no. But yeah, the Tellerism is an action. It's a behavior. You're trying to be. You want to have a lineage to a people that you don't know who they are. Like you're attaching yourself to someone else. That's what tetherism is. And you can, like he said, black is a social construct. Yeah, I get it, but there are foundational aspects of us, like as black Americans, that other cultures don't do. And when you try to go ahead and operate in that, then yeah, you she says she's from DC. Yeah, you're not, but you tethering at that point. And to the whole, the 46-year-old woman, 31-year-old man. Yeah, I mean, so like Ant be saying, probability and possibility. I mean, it's definitely a possibility it might work, but the probability of it you getting the outcome that you want is probably unlikely, just depending on where you stand. I mean, and now if you asking, is it about like an age gap thing? No, I mean y'all two grown adults, y'all can do what y'all want, but you getting the outcome that you want. I mean, it's not anything out of the ordinary, but what do you want out of a 31-year-old man? Like what are you really expecting?
Yeah.
The same thing would have to be asking for him. You know, if he wants, if he wants like marriage, children, things of that nature, then the timeline is a little bit more so off. But you can definitely be dating though. Most people are date. Most people dating are just passing through. To be honest, ain't the '90s anymore. Yeah, I mean, a lot of that kind of died out. Why men be mad at older women than men?
Mad at older
Huh?
women? I don't know about mad at older women.
I don't know what you mean. It said why men be mad at women older than men. If you want to be out here cougar hunting, I mean, looking for cubs, and I don't have no problem with that. Look, that is between you and him. Like, who mad? You mad about that, Ant?
No, I don't know. Why would I? No, people can do what they want to do. I mean,
You're right. You can do what you want to do.
yeah, I always speak on, like, I try to make it analytical. Like, is it
Right.
likely that a 31-year-old and a 46-year-old will work long term? Nah, I wouldn't bet on the likelihood of it, but can it work? Sure, it could work. Of course. It can,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't tell a
Look,
31-year-old
we
man
ain't in
to do
here
that.
to police nobody's nether regions.
Hell
That's
no.
not what we here to do.
Right.
We giving perspective.
Okay, and thank you for the thank you, Ant, in chat for the clarification. I think there might be some misunderstanding on my end. It's a lot of misunderstanding because you got a lot of radical people. And understand this too. A foundational Black American is someone who's, in my opinion, whose lineage is at least 50%. You know, so just so you know that. And tether and foundational Black American does not mean equating to hating immigrants. It does not equate to fuck immigration. It does not equate to. It don't even equate to being quote unquote pro-Black. A foundational Black American is not a mentality. It's not an ideology. It's not what your political system is. You could be a foundational Black American and support Pan-Africanism. Like, foundational Black American is simply your lineage. That's it. And if at least the majority of your lineage comes from the inception of this country through chattel slavery, you are a foundational Black American. It's that simple. So because I know a lot of people get confused because y'all be on these TikTok lives and these Twitter spaces, and you got these radicals. And one thing about me, I don't sit around and fuck Africa, African booty scratcher. I don't do that because it's not doing anything. That was so 2021. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't even doing that shit then. But like me, Jay, if you even look at my videos, I don't sit around and fuck you, dirty African F. Let me stop cussing because I don't want to keep it podcasty, right? But F you Africans, you dirty booty scratchers, y'all eat mud cookie. Like, it gets to a point, it's like, okay, you've said this yesterday. You said it the day before. You've said it the day before. You said it the day before. When do you actually have conversations enlightening people on certain things? When do you get to the point to where you're done calling everybody an African booty scratcher? We're grown adults with kids and bills. You know what I'm saying? Now, jokes is jokes. If somebody want to troll, we're going to troll back. I'll roast the hell out of MF. So will Jay. You know what I'm saying? But there gets to a point where I'm not going to have the title of this live, Africans come get cooked and roasted. And then it's, you are slaves, and I'm calling them slaves and telling them that they know how to climb trees and they know how to, they know how to talk to mosquitoes. Like, I don't have to make the conversation about just talking trash against Africa all day. You know what I'm saying? I think it's very, I don't think it's conducive for anything. I think it does absolutely nothing but just push a rhetoric that is not conducive for neither Black Americans or anybody else. I don't think it's necessary. But if you want to roast, we can roast. Don't get it twisted. But I don't do that. That's my channel. We don't do that.
I want to add to that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the thing about it is it gets to a point where it's just juvenile. Like, like, what are we doing? Like, if the only thing we're gonna get, okay, let's actually debate a diaspora war. Okay, did this thing really go down and negatively affect my family and the way that I live right now? And if we can give a clear understanding on that, okay, by all means, that's perfectly fine. But if we then we switch to, oh yeah, y'all eating mud cookies and living in huts, and y'all can't drink y'all water and shit like that. That takes the conversation to another place. Like when because look, I was one of the biggest trolls on here. I had a almost perfect African voice, and I would get right on their ass. I'm trying to tell you, like,
nigga, no, you did not, nigga.
So,
nigga, your voice is not better than my nigga.
You said what?
No, you did not. Your voice,
my
nigga,
nigga, my nigga.
Like,
yo,
bro. I am actually from Igbo tribe, nigga. I am from Igbo, nigga. I am Igbo, nigga. You do not know how to speak in the language, nigga.
Yo, I'm saying that we used to be terrible, okay, to them people. But now at this point, we just need to just save the trolling for when the trolls come. That's what I say. We find them, then we get the trolling. Yeah, you nigga, you go back home to your family. That's what we do nowadays. Because now we really trying to get something done.
Right.
And then FBA Empress, she said, I don't think anyone is mad. It's just a different dynamic with older women and younger men. Yeah, it just is.
Yeah, that's true.
For older women, if you are in here, shout out to all the aunties, all the beautiful aunties in the space, all the beautiful aunties on the live. But if you dealing with a younger man, you gotta know the rules.
Right.
Just know the rules. You just got to know the rules, and if you know the rules, then everything is going to be fine. I've had older women before. It is what it is. But they knew the rules.
Yeah, hey man.
You said what, bro?
I know, I'm just co-signing. Hey, I done had some older women, boy. My older women know how to. Hey man, that's all I'm gonna say. Boy, oh boy, nigga, she was 47. Nigga, I was 22. Nigga, I'm like, shit. Never mind. But go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry. Let me shut up. I'm doing too much.
And she knew the rules, didn't she?
She didn't step out of line at all. And a lot of people, they get this, that's predatory. She ain't make no decisions. I ran exactly what was going on. We finna go here. We finna do this. We finna do that.
It's a little bit more Tata Dior. It's a little more to that. That's just the basics. That gets you in the door,
Oh, they said, what's the rules? Cook clean, shut the F up. Nah, it's more than that. I mean, that's just when I be joking. I mean, it's partly true, but no, it's when we say rules, we speaking on the dynamics of understanding what this is and not trying to stepping out of that dynamic. And I think that starts with the man being honest about what this is going to be. And if you're an older woman and you accept it, then don't step out of your lane, because what you're going to do is you're going to make this worse than it needs to be. And older women know. They act like they don't know sometimes, but they know. And I would probably say I've been with maybe 5 to 10 women in their 40s, and this was all. I'm only 28. The oldest, like I said, I was 47 and she was 22. That woman is 51 now, or 52, I think. So. And she's still fine, but it's like it's the dynamic of understanding what this is, how this is going to operate, and just not stepping out of that. But there's always, like Jay, to add on to what Jay said, no matter if a woman is in her 40s, 30s, or if a woman is younger than you, if you with a man that's 37 in here and a woman is 29, there's always dynamic of understanding your role, whether it's a woman is older or younger. That doesn't change based on age. It's just the dynamic of younger man, older woman is just a little bit more rare. That understanding needs to be at the helm or at the forefront of the relationship or of the dynamic, whether y'all serious or not serious, And I'll end it off on that. Jay, you can close it out if you want to, or if you want to add more, man, go right ahead. What do you guys think about the Michael Jackson biopic?
Yeah.
Can't wait for it.
Yeah, the dynamic is going to be changing. Like, you got to know the rules, why y'all here, what y'all doing, and what that's gonna be. It's like a little honeypot kind of relationship. Like, y'all, you got to know that, because as an older woman dealing with a younger man, you might like this younger man a lot, but are you really gonna like take it that far? And I'm not, now if it's like a thing like she was saying, like 46 and 31, it is what, I mean, it's still the same thing. The dynamic is still the same. What do you want to get out of that? Like, and I think he knows what he wants, because he's going to play a different game than you. And that's kind of where the conversation, where the question is coming from. And then they say, for sure, how do we feel about the Michael Jackson biopic? I haven't seen it. Have you seen it, bro?
I didn't even hold on. I didn't even know it was out, but I can't wait to. Is it out? Because if it is, I gotta watch it. I'm gonna watch it actually this weekend, or in a couple of days. But nah. But if it's out, I definitely need to watch it. I'm excited for it. So hopefully it's good.
Yeah, we definitely could do a breakdown on it or something.
April 24th.
It comes out April 24th. Yeah, it's not even out yet.
Yeah, next month.
Oh, April 1st.
April 1st. Why would they put it out on April Fool's Day? Watch it not come out.
Right.
April Fools, niggas. The movie was never coming out at all. But yeah, man. I think that's our time, Jay. I think so.
What comes out on the 24th? Yeah, I mean, yeah, because the comments kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might do it for us.
All right, man.
The next thing we should host if we doing anything dating, we should give out the rules, bro. The rules of engagement.
Nah, facts. We should. We definitely should. Let everybody know what's going on out here in these streets, man. I just want to say thank you for everybody that tuned in, that showed love. Y'all sticking around means a lot to me, means a lot to Jay. Again, we've been doing this for years, and we're gonna bring it back, and we're gonna do it the right way. Thank y'all for the donations. Thank y'all for following me, subscribing to Jay's channel, subscribing to my channel. I will leave this up, and make sure y'all go to Jay's channel. Make sure y'all go to Jay's channel, because he will have this on his as well. So go subscribe to his channel. I know he don't got that many videos, but he's about to get back locked in very soon, sooner than you think. So don't be like, this nigga got no videos, I ain't gonna subscribe. No, go subscribe. Turn his post notifications on, because I promise you, my brother be cooking. And you're going to get a whole different perspective than you may get from me. You feel me? And that's the point. You want to have different perspectives of people. So we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And that's going to close it out. Jay, you have the final words, and I'm going to go ahead in and out.
Yeah, nah. Thank you for everybody that came in, everybody that stayed with us. All the people that showed up late, don't matter. Still, you still came in and supported all the donations, and just staying locked in with my brother. Staying locked in with Ant, staying locked in with me. I will have a lot of different content on my page, solo content. But I think we're gonna have a lot more of this, and then we got some big things coming for y'all. So just stay tuned, stay locked in, and to the next one.
Love, family. We out.